another match point.
Incredible third set here.
They changed their strategy a little bit and they fought their way back in.
There it is, game, set, and match.
Hello and welcome to the 2025 APTA National Championships. We're live from the Philadelphia Cricket Club in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, bringing you the men's and women's national championships with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership and our tour presenting sponsors, Volley and Corian. Local support has been provided by the following tournament sponsors: MAPTA, the Metropolitan Area Platform Tennis Association. Our platinum level sponsors, Philadelphia Insurance Companies and Xfinity. Gold level sponsors, T. Rowe Price, BLBB Financial Advisors. Beach and Morrow, father and sons, 1986 national champions. Silver level sponsors, Pond La Hockey, Rothman Orthopedics, Pure Hockey, Royal Bank of Canada, Falcon, Total Platform Tennis. Our official ball of the national championships has been provided by Xenon Paddle, and we'd like to give a special thanks to our paddle party pleasers, the Chamonix Creek Brewing, Guilford Brewery, Coca-Cola, Asher Chocolates. I'm Guy Moore, along with Mrs. Denise Murphy. We have our number 2 and 3 seeds here, Denise. Florentina Hanisch and Anna Marie Zubori playing against B. Lopez and Taya Page. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you so much, Guy. So excited to be calling this match with you.
Yes.
What an incredible day it was yesterday, Guy. All the matches we called and watched, it was just an incredible day and an awesome experience. Looking forward to today. So just to point out the players in the forecourt on the right side with the black headband, that's B. Lopez, and her partner on her left with the green headband, that's Taya Page. Across the court in the ad side, which is the person to the right, is Anna Maria Zubori, excuse me. The player on the left side and we're looking is Hanisch.
Yeah, Denise, you know, we looked at the draw and we've talked about it over the past couple days. You know, just one of the deepest women's draws that we've had in a while, but still, even mentioning that, I think if we looked at the draw, we would probably agree that, you know, the 4 teams are here. You could have inked them in.
Oh my!
I mean, there's just some separation, right? As deep as it is, there's separation.
Really, really excited to see the action. There's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of drives, a lot of strategy, and just 4 incredibly talented athletes. And we'll see how this unfolds, Guy.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting too. Over the past, I mean, I think we both agree that B. Lopez and Taya Page over the past, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 weeks have been the hottest team in the game, right, on the women's side. So,
absolutely,
you know, this matchup, obviously they're peaking at the right time. And like you said, I mean, for all those out there, if you haven't paid much attention and watched these two play, they're just lights out. Tons of offense, very quick transition. So, and as you said earlier, Denise, just offense from everywhere, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. Forehands, backhands, pressure, blitzes. I mean, they just read the ball and they know what each other is going to do. You'll see many times during this match, B. Lopez lighting up a forehand or backhand from the deuce side, and her partner, Taya Page, just flying in behind it, looking to capitalize on a weak volley response. So that'll be a repeated offensive play by this team. You know, on the flip side, Hanisch Zubori, they've got a well-seasoned athletes. They've been playing together for years. You know, we've got winning nationals together 2 times, 2021, 2022. Then, of course, Hanisch has another national title, 2017, playing with Annika van Sternberg. So, and a lot of experience on Zubori and Hanisch's side of the net. and just an incredible talent and a younger team seen in Lopez and Page. So looking forward to what they're bringing on this given day.
Yeah, you know, Hanisch and Zubori, they just have complemented each other for so long. I mean, I think we all agree that Zubori probably one of the most dynamic women players that we've ever seen with what she can do and create with her overheads and just her athletic ability. And Florentina Hanisch, great partner for her because she is so solid and steady, so smart, and she'll surprise you when you're not thinking she's going to just crack a ball, drive one, but she's a competitor.
Yes, and you mentioned competitor. She's I feel like this season she's bringing a lot more offense from that due side, which typically you see coming from Zubori. So she can play both sides of the coin. She can be patient as Job, or she can just start lighting it up, which is very exciting either way.
Well, when she brings more offense too, Denise, the ball starts to move more. So then Zubori can even get more involved without being so predictable.
Absolutely.
Because the tendency with some of the teams, and most of them have tried it and it doesn't work, is to play the deuce side of the court where Hanisch is, and you know, keep Anna Marie Zubori's offense off the court. But that hasn't really happened. I mean, there's been a couple teams to be able to do it, but
maybe not loud enough.
Be interested to see here early what Lopez and Page do. I think they'll come out firing.
I would 100% say that is what we're going to see.
Couple strikes.
The ball will be flying this morning. It's 40 degrees here and cloudy in Philly.
Players ready.
There's a slight
Zubori
wind,
to serve.
but I don't think anything that should.
Yeah, the past 2 days have been very windy and very sunny, so this is a nice reprieve for everyone. Not nearly as much wind or sun today. Perfect, actually.
All right, so we have Zubori just hit the overhead on the right side, and they just switched.
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, do you look for that to happen pretty early on? I mean, it makes sense to put Zubori in that position. Florentina is just a fantastic volley, and there's a first look at how quick you hit the ball off the deck and don't get it to where you're supposed to get it. It comes.
Zubori is serving, Page returning.
And you see early on Lopez just sliding off to her right. Great ball. And that's the one I was talking about from Hanisch. She'll just surprise you.
Yep.
And she puts the ball in such a good spot. And do you agree, Denise, that she's got to do that to, I mean, obviously national semis, but the teams that they're going to play here, and if they get through this, I mean, she's got to provide some good offense.
I agree. It's always worth early on. You know, you have the confidence, you have the ability to mix it up and just see how your opponent responds.
Great lob by Zubori.
I was just going to say, any lob you see both players start going for initially,
Sure.
it's a good lob.
And the thing I liked about that lob, well, two things. One, the location, but certainly the height. It wasn't that high. So that's why they fight over it. It just took all their time away.
Her partner from Lake Bluff, Illinois, Allison Morgan.
Very patient. Love this long point starting off.
Well, after a long point like this, you know, the third point of the match, I mean, everyone's going to feel like they're in the match.
Yes. You get your groove, find your rhythm.
30-15.
I would say, too, Denise, at the risk of stating the complete obvious, with as much offense as Lopez and Page have, Hanisch and Zubori volley well.
Yeah.
They'll be in good shape.
Absolutely. Great dig. I mean, the lobs are just so good, which really limits how hard Zubori can hurt you with her overheads.
Right. Yeah, it's much easier to carve the ball up when the ball's not so high.
It's just right off the bat. Zubori mixing up the paces, mixing up the spins, making it difficult for Paige. She's doing a phenomenal job.
Denise, do you feel like if Hanisch Zubori can, I mean, it's always our net scheme to eliminate the offense, but if they can do a good job, and it looks like early on they are, I mean, we're 4 points into the match, but just taking away some of their offense by where they're hitting their overheads cause them to press a bit, which is what I think they would want them
Yes.
to do, right? What I mean by that is, from a Page and Lopez or any perspective, is making them feel like they have to do more to win a point.
40-15.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said, the longer the points or the more you're pushed, the less errors your opponents give you. You feel like you need to make lower percentage choices,
Right.
meaning going for the tighter angle. I can make that, or the way deeper lob, and then before you know it, you're hitting your lobs long. Great shot by Taya Page.
40-30.
Right.
And you would agree that right there, that point right there is 100% the tempo they want to play.
Oh, yes. Yes. They're just always trolling for different ways to apply pressure. Lopez and Page are a very aggressive team. Great positioning, though, by Hanisch and Zubori to navigate those big drives.
Do you agree with Hanisch bailing there?
It's funny you ask. I probably would have stayed up.
Yeah, me too. I mean, she was in position.
Yeah. But you know, it is a
Dude.
warm day. You know, Paige flying in. Maybe she figured, you know what, we're gonna give up the down the line.
Yeah,
If it's
bad
an overhit, I'll
matchup.
take it off the screen. Like switch at the net, getting Hanisch on the right side,
I mean,
Zubori on the
it's-
left.
what did Denise early on here? Give me, and that's what's got to happen. They're going to have to hit 4 or 5 volleys in a row
Yeah. Oh.
and
oh.
make Lopez and Page think they just have to make one better. Even there, Zubori was forehand ready volley, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, Paige has improved so much this season, and the two of them together are they just improve every single time they step off the court. They're a little bit wiser, they're making better choices, they're rock solid mentally, so that's why this is going to be a great match to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, and yesterday in the women's quarters, I mean, Hanisch Zubori
Great volley.
won their match against Lauren Gebbia and Carrie Delmonico 6-love, 6-2, and Page and Lopez basically did the same thing in the match against Hallbauer and Jackson, Ellie Hallbauer and Jill Jackson, 0-1 in the quarters of the Nationals.
Wow. Zubori has one of the best serves in the game. Placed it beautifully. That's great. Nice
great.
pressure.
Advantage, Hanisch
Flowing in
Zubori.
behind that little chip.
I mean, early in the match, Denise, but do you think that if Page and Lopez drives are kind of getting the better of Hanisch Zubori, like that Do you think they should consider staying back early just to break that rhythm?
Yes. It's never. I would.
Or at least
definitely
mix it in there?
suggest, yes, just like throw in different looks. Again,
And there's a little bit of it right there. I mean, Zubori's doesn't even want to come in behind. I don't blame her.
right.
Well, you eliminate the toughest shot in the game, which is the first volley if you choose to serve a volley.
Right. But I would say definitely mix it up just to see how your opponent's going to react.
Well, I do know this, that in terms of getting into the point, especially when you're serving, because you're in charge of 2 out of the 3 shots where most paddle points still in, you can't bat 500, get in half the points and not in the other half. Not in this
Advantage
match.
Lopez, Page.
See what Zubori does here.
It's a great serve.
Great serve.
Deuce.
Just do that and we're in good shape.
Just kick it into the
Right.
side wires
Right?
all
Yeah.
day. No,
Right.
you don't have to worry about that first volley. There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of the best of all worlds. Hanisch was staying up. If she volleyed it, Zubori would have come in.
Advantage
No, I think that
Lopez,
is-
Page.
It's just important to show your opponents different looks. And staying back every once in a while. Sometimes when you give your opponent a larger target, the court actually feels smaller. Again, they do such a great job in mixing up different spins and paces of the overheads.
Well, and like you said earlier, too, they're already doing, Lopez and Page, a great job of not only lobbing to different spots, but the height. When you lob the ball that high, it's tough to put the spin. Even the rollers, you just got to pay more attention.
Again, they're just both floor. Hanisch and
Well,
Anna Maria Zubori, they're just so intentional. They're hitting their targets. They're calling the ball early.
and I think everyone can see the sun just popped out, and
Oh, yeah.
it's bright.
Yes.
I mean, you see all the shadows on the court. But you know, early on here, Denise, you can see Lopez and Page playing a little bit of a different point from the backcourt. They lobbed a lot more. They know it's a break point, and there it is.
Game Lopez, Page. Lopez, 2. 1
No, it's
game
just-
to love in the first set.
Again, Lopez and Page all season long. I want to say this is probably my 4th match I've called of theirs. They are just growing and getting better, and in one of the ways is making different decisions and better decisions. And they're executing those like perfectly.
Well, that point's a great example. They played the entire game a little bit differently than that last point. They lobbed more balls in that last point they did the entire game, which for sure agree with.
Just keeping your opponents off balance and mixing things up. All right, looks like Taya Page will be serving. You can hear the music cranking already, Guy.
Yeah, Philly Cricket Club. I mean, you and I have been to a lot of nationals, Denise. I mean, Bruce Redpath and his group have done a beyond phenomenal job here. Not only for all the spectators, members, for the players. I mean, it's just really, really lights out.
100%. As well as Andy Addis, Boris Fepbright.
Right.
Thank you to the 3 directors. It's a perfect celebration for an awesome season that they have set up here for everybody. Okay.
So Denise, that first game, Lopez Page tempo or Hanisch Zubori?
Oh, that was much slower. I've
Love
Hanisch
15.
Zubori. All right, Taya Page is serving to Zubori. great pressure by
Love
Zubori
30.
coming in off Floor's drive.
Right, and that's what they have to do quite a bit of.
Yes.
So, Denise, let's kind of watch this whole game unfold. The reason is
Love 40.
because they are on the baseline. And that's why I think early on they should try staying back together as a team, because just they eliminate all the offense from the deck.
I agree. That's the strongest part of their game is the drives. So when you give up the net, a lot of people think, oh, it's a white flag. We stink. They're better than us. No, it's a strategy. One of the strategies and reasons for going back is to shut down their greatest strength. It's a big driving team.
40.
Yeah, and teams like Lopez and Page are used to winning a lot of free points off those drives.
Oh yeah, and rightfully so.
Sure.
It's going Mach 5,000.
Yeah, and it's with them it's a chain of driving. You know, they drive
Game,
ball
Hanisch,
after
Zubori.
ball after ball.
Tied 1 game all, first set.
Okay, we have Floor Hanisch serving.
So they just won that game, 4 straight points in about 35 seconds.
Yeah, that was very fast.
So that's my question. Why are they not staying back early?
Love 15.
It's a great. I mean, there you have it. Lopez hits a awesome dropping drive, and Page just coming in right behind it.
Is back.
And that's the
Love
other thing,
30.
Denise, is if you are going to come in with how big of drives that Page and Lopez have, your serve's got to be great.
Oh yeah.
If you stay back, then you could just hit it in. You got the screens behind you.
I mean, that's what Page and Lopez do so well. They just complement each other. And understanding and knowing what choices they're making, and then Page just flies in. It's usually Taya Page who's applying most of the blitzing pressure. But both players can do it very effectively because there's so many weapons, whether at the baseline or net.
15-30.
Then
Yeah, they're actually, it's interesting, right, because Lopez and Page, generally you're driving to make your next lob better, but they're driving so they could drive 3 or 4 more balls in a row,
right.
which, I mean, they're so talented. I'm all in on that. You all in?
Yes, I am all in on that. And they're driving with intention as well, Guy. They're typically they don't just drive in the same spot. You'll see them go left hip,
30
right hip,
all.
center, between.
Right.
I mean, just pinpointed drives, looking for that chink in the armor, that weak reply.
Yeah, they're not going to hit 3 drives to the same spot. It's 1 to your left, 1 to your right, 1 to your forehand,
Yep.
change the height, change the spin.
$30-40.
Would you say, as quick as Page and Lopez like to play, that the longer the point goes, it favors Hanisch and Zubori?
I would say it's an interesting question, Guy. I'd probably say yes.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll see, but
It's a great take.
Game Lopez
Again.
Page. Lopez Page lead 2-1 in the first set.
All right, Guy, a little word from Ponley Hockey. With over 80 years of workman's comp experience in Pennsylvania, 20,000 plus successful cases, and over 1 billion recovered for our clients. Ponley Hockey, Giordano is the workman's compensation firm you want fighting for you. Okay. This is an interesting how this is unfolding so far, Guy. I think it's Lopez and Page have really slowed things down a lot from the baseline, being very patient typically I see, even though they're driving a lot, we typically see a little bit more offense straight away. And just Hanisch Zubori playing classic, very strong,
Love
consistent,
15.
patient paddle. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, but I like this formation from Hanisch Zubori,
15 off.
where Zubori's able to move forward and blitz and move. I mean, that
Yes.
is something they've done so well for years. Hanisch setting up Zubori, where she
Yes.
can move in and be Zubori. Her range is probably the biggest in the women's game.
30-15.
Yeah, she's always hunting over there.
And when you have a team, even though they've played, you know what, I'll say this, Denise. Paige and Lopez have played slow points when they needed to. And then the other
Yes.
times, you know, all the firepower we're used to. But, you know, they also, when you watch their net scheme, they play in that typical stagger, especially when they're playing the backhand side. You see Paige hanging on the net,
Yes.
looking to volley. And Lopez dropping back, hitting overheads off her front foot.
40-15.
But Hanisch and Zubori have to keep this tight, otherwise it's just going to keep rolling like this.
Yeah. Great serve by Lopez. But it's two very similar styles, Guy. I mean, Paige hunts and is constantly searching. It's very similar to Zubori coming out of the ad side. And Lopez and Hanisch are basically in that same role. Now they also bring a lot of firepower, so they're not necessarily setting up their partner with a lob, and they're setting up in so many different ways. That combination, that blitz. I mean,
That was an unbelievable volley Paige just hit. A forehand
Yes.
volley from behind her away from Zubori. Well, you know, the difference to me, Denise, is, you know, from Paige and Lopez,
great
again,
lob.
going back to the series of driving we were talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just wide. They drive and the ball moves, right, and it's very quick, and then both of them are
40,
driving
30.
off both sides.
Yes. Yeah, there's really no safe zone left to right. So then what do? You try to you work on depth and height of your overheads.
Well, it's one of those things. If you volley well, you can win the match. 3-3. If you don't volley well, you could lose it 1-0. I mean, that's it. You
Right.
got to volley well today.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If you don't think you're going to volley well,
Game
then
Lopez Page.
Stay
Lopez
back.
Page lead 3-1 in the first set.
Okay. Here we go. It's a great serve by
15
Emily
love.
Zubori. Her partner Flor Hanisch up at the net. Returning is Taya Page.
see there, Hanisch was already bailing.
Yep.
You know, I
Very
suppose
smart.
she can do that too, because if the ball was hit behind her, Zubori would be covering it.
Yes. But I do think it's a good play. I think they're going to have more success at the baseline against Lopez and Page as opposed to at the net. There's just so much offense, so much pressure that
Hey.
Lopez and Page apply in so many different ways.
You know, and one of Hanisch's best shots is her drop volley, especially on the forehand side. So I'm interested to see if she hits a couple of those here. It's hard when the ball's coming that fast, though.
It's a great get by Zubori. Wow. Oh,
Wow.
around the net post get
Wow.
by Page.
That was amazing.
Incredible point. Wow.
15
Wow.
all.
All four players. exceptional.
She was.
I
I was gonna say, if there was a gate on that side, she would have went out of it.
Oh yeah, like Padel, like run out
Yeah.
and then run back in. Great volley by Zubori. It was high,
30-15.
caught her, but she kept her weight forward.
Yep, back. 30 off.
Yeah, these return games from Lopez and Page, just so much pressure.
So much.
You're seeing it. I mean,
30,
Zubori's feeling like, I
40.
got to serve this good,
Yes.
so I'm not looking at a rocket, even as good as Zubori's hands are. I mean,
Yeah, they both Page and Lopez.
there's that drop
Jump
volley
on
I
that
was
ball.
talking about. Yep. That's where Hanisch likes to hit it to, a little short angle.
Great lobs. Wow. It's a perfect setup.
2 games to love. First set.
But the offense that Page and Lopez are able to bring, they just hover on that baseline guy. And they're just looking for that ball that they can just step in. But it makes the court feel, I feel like, very small for your opponents when you have, just like serving, you know the bomb's coming. If you miss your overhead just a little bit left or right, you're going to be feeling it.
Well, what happens, too, because there's so much threat of offense all the time from Lopez and Page, that
Yes.
Hanisch and Zubori have to play tighter. So when they do decide to lob, the next lob's just so good.
Wow. Great positioning by Page, sliding way over, opening up that forehand.
Yeah, but this is what it takes to win a point at the net.
Yeah.
A little back. I had it back.
It's phenomenal.
Game,
phenomenal.
Lopez, Page. Lopez, Page lead 4 games to 1 in the first set.
Okay, Guy, a little word from our sponsor, Volley. Did you know that volley players have hit 7 million balls? That's a lot of high-quality training. Don't get left behind. Get your reps in with Volley. Whether it's day or night, you're in control of your training. Volley offers world-class training on demand, helping you sharpen your skills and level up your game whenever it fits your schedule. Ready to join the movement? Start training smarter with Volley today.
15 all.
Yeah, we were at dinner last night just talking about how great the volley machine, just a bunch of different pros from around the country, and
It's incredible what it can do. Work on spins. Like, most of the time, our members are using it for screens and return to serve. It's just endless awesome reps.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, man. Just want to mention again, our umpire for today is Jack Taylor. So, Jack, thank you so much for giving your time and energy today and being up there calling this match. Appreciate it.
They probably enjoyed today a lot better than the last two.
Right. All right, so Guy, what are you thinking here? Our number 2 seeds, Hanisch Zubori, down 1-4 in the first set.
Well, I will say this, Denise, that without a doubt, the tempo of this match, 150%
15 love.
favors Lopez and Page. It's the match they want to play. They're playing fast. Like we mentioned earlier, I think the longer the point goes, which is different to say about Zubori and Hanisch, the more
Right.
it favors them. I don't think both of them can play fast with Lopez and Page. I think they have to slow
30
it down.
love.
And they also have to do some different things on their serves.
Yes.
Either play some Aussie, some I, just completely stay back.
Yeah, giving them just different looks.
it's just too much pressure.
It's a great move. Zubori coming in again. Once again, wow.
30,
classic.
15.
Zubori, that was like a little cutter dropper. It's a hybrid shot. Beautiful.
And I will say this too: if Zubori and Hanisch are going to stay at the net, let's let Zubori even hit more overheads. Just doing what she does so well, and Hanisch sliding off the court to the right, giving her space.
Yes.
And we all know how good her volleys are. Just put yourself in a position of strength.
40,
Yeah,
15.
I mean, Zubori is
Well,
the spins that she can apply, mixing them in, the pace.
but Zubori and Hanisch are already feeling like what we just spoke about earlier. They're feeling like they have to do more to win a point,
Yes.
to win a game. And to be honest, too, Denise, I mean, Pejic and Lopez started playing a little bit more at the end of last year, but, I mean, they're still a new team.
Game Lopez, Page.
You know, people
Lopez,
haven't really
Page
learned how to
lead
play
5
them.
games to 1
Right.
in the first set.
And there's no one on the women's tour that plays as fast as them.
No, and they capitalize
even
on
close.
on each other's strengths so well.
They really do.
I mean, they just read it, and there's always somebody flying in. Well, not always, but
Well,
it's just constant pressure.
it is, and when you have that series of drives, I mean, the ball just moves. So it's on this side of the court, and then goes to the other side of the court, and then eventually the net team's positioning just breaks down. And whether they hit through them or not, it doesn't matter. It's just they're creating mistakes because of the reaching and lunging.
Yes. Yep, when you're not balanced, that can compromise your outcome of your shot, no matter where you are in the court.
Love 15.
Here we have Flora Hanisch serving, Taya Page returning. Great rollers.
I tell you what's impressive. I mean, we don't teach it as much, but how good are all these players forehand volleys?
I know, it's unbelievable.
I mean,
And the paddle is almost always in front of them.
right.
So it's not only to successfully flip, but to do that, make contact in front. So it's just so good. I like how Hanisch Zubori just switched at the net, allowing Hanisch to be on the right side, and Zubori taking majority of the overheads.
And at this stage, 5-1, they need to make Lopez and Page really work here.
Yeah.
Win or lose the game, at least recreate some momentum. And this is what we're mentioning too. Page and Lopez know when to slow it down.
Yep. No, that's one of the, for sure, one of
15 all.
in the evolution of Page and Lopez's game this season. That's been a huge difference, is their, just almost like their paddle IQ, their strategery. You can see them implementing and shifting into different gears, whereas when I first started watching them play, there was just one gear.
Right.
And that's the evolution of a player, a team. It's so awesome to see.
And I'm sure they do like all the other top teams. They just look at the live stream, past live stream matches, and just analyze it. And it's easy to pick up on things like that.
30, 15.
I love how Zubori makes contact so low on her overheads, ensuring the ball bounces low on the other side, which significantly limits the amount of offense that your opponents bring.
40,
Little
30, 15.
miscommunication back there at the baseline with Page and Lopez. one of the many reasons why we want to hit some overheads to the middle guy.
Especially that one there, like you were mentioning. I mean, she lets it drop so she could push it, and it's so deep and it's dying into the back screen or creating confusion, because the middle does create confusion. And if they're going to be offensive, they got to swing up. They're not swinging down.
Great ball by Hanisch. But again, Lopez so fast getting back. And Page, they're both have a serious set of wheels. Nice lob.
Good look, though.
It's a really good look. But you can see how well they're lobbing, guy, that inherently sets up for so many offensive shots. They're just constantly creating. They can create instability and imbalance in so many different ways from the baseline. I actually like how Hanisch serves and stays back temporarily.
Yeah, smart. Not going to hurt yourself doing that.
Page and Lopez just seamlessly switched at the net.
I'll tell you what, Hanisch is bringing that forehand.
Yeah.
Game Hanisch Zubori. Lopez Page lead 5-2 in the first set.
Guy, a little word from one of our sponsors, BLBB Advisors. BLBB Advisors is a wealth advisory firm founded in Chestnut Hill that has proudly served generations of individuals, families, endowments, and business owners in our community. For more than 6 decades, they have been dedicated to providing strategic fiduciary guidance and personalized investment planning using its Plan, Invest, Succeed process. BLBB Advisors. Yeah, I want to thank all the sponsors and all the businesses and individuals who have supported not only this tournament, but this APTA and the season all along. It's just been such an awesome experience. Have you been having fun, Guy, here?
In Philly?
At the 2025 Nationals here at the Philadelphia Cricket Club.
Ever since my plane landed, I've been having a great time because
you had a bad experience coming in?
Yeah, that was not a fun flight coming in.
Well, hopefully it'll be a little quieter on the way back.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, B. Lopez is serving. Zubori returning.
15 all.
And I think Hanisch and Zubori saw a little something the last game, mixed it up. Came in, stayed back. I think that's what they have to do.
I definitely agree. I think their odds at the baseline are way better than at the net. It just takes away, like you said, great move by Zubori. Just takes away their biggest strength, which is just the pressure, their drives from the baseline.
Well, what we just saw is what Hanisch and Zubori did a little bit in the last game, and when they stay back, it gives Zubori the opportunity to move forward and control the court with their range.
I like how Hanisch took her time coming in. She was just assessing, knowing how much firepower they bring. That's a great.
You can see right now they're just playing in the eye. We've seen this before. That allows Zubori just to roam the entire net without the threat of. And if a ball goes through with a drive, I mean,
so fun.
Forehand volley.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fast. But I do love that, to sprinkle that in every once in a while. Allows her to really close on the net too, because if anything goes up out of Zubori's range, she knows her partner for Hanisch is behind her to clean up.
30-15.
It's a great ball.
I just think over point after point, but game after game, that with their offense off both sides, Lopez and Page, it's just the percentages are in their favor right now.
Totally agree. It just, Paige and Lopez just give you so little as far as, in so many categories, and as far as unforced errors, as far as so little like safe places on the court to hit the ball.
This what they're doing now is with Zubori moving forward. It's work for him.
Yes.
And look at Hanisch just standing right in the middle.
She's just off center. Again, notice where her toes are pointing. She's kind of anticipating that ball, knowing that Zubori will probably primarily cover the cross court.
40-15.
The only thought process with that, though, when you have
15.
one up, one back, in and eye for ball after ball, is Zubori is trying to end the point.
Yes.
Right? So, again, it's so much pressure to win a point or to keep it close. I mean, you got set point here, 45. B. Lopez serving. Seeing a bit of the same. Hanisch is going to come in here.
Just so fast. I mean, you think the point might end, and yet the ball is always coming back with Paige and Lopez.
Game, Lopez, Page. Lopez, Page lead 1 set to love. 6 games to 2.
All right, Denise, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by Joho.
At Volley, we build tools to unlock your potential. The new Volley PTI feature breaks down your game like never before. Ever wondered, which partner has impacted my PTI the most? What's our win percentage as the favorite or underdog? Do I perform differently in 2 or 3 set matches? Now, it's all at your fingertips. The PTI tool is free to everyone. Download the Volley app today and level up your game. We'll see you on the court.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
You know you have an account with Philadelphia. A, they're covered properly. You know, the policy is second to none. And B, you're gonna have no service issues, whether it's inspections, claims, billing, whatever the problem may be, they're on top of it.
I love working with Philadelphia insurance companies. It's easy doing business with them. They make us look good.
It's a cultural thing with Philadelphia. Everybody is there for you.
All right, how do we stream all of these games?
Well, we engineered a fast, reliable Xfinity internet.
So you never miss a moment while streaming live sports?
Isn't that the best part about working here?
No, it's the uniform.
Actually, Mr. Jalen, I do feel a little self-conscious.
Yeah, and I feel ridiculous.
I mostly feel cold.
Meeting over.
It's fine. Try to make y'all look fresh. They don't get it.
Score the ultimate sports streaming experience with Xfinity Sports and News TV. Save more than $150 a year over YouTube TV.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're here at the 2025 Men's and Women's National Championships in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with this semifinal match between our number 2 and 3 seed, B. Lopez and Taya Page, playing against Florentina Hanisch and Anna Marie Zubori. 6-2 first set. Denise, I'll let you reintroduce the players. I'm Guy Moore with Denise Murphy.
15 love.
Thanks so much, Guy. Okay, so serving right now, we have Anna Maria Zubori and her partner, Florentina Hanisch, is at the net. Returning right now is Taya Page. On the ad side and on the do side with the black headband is her partner, B. Lopez. So guys, so far, first set, Lopez and Page take it pretty, I mean, it was just quick. It was a fast set, 6-2. I am hoping that Zubori and Hanisch just kind of start adjusting and making different choices. For example, we spoke at the break, maybe staying back.
30 love.
Just, I mean, Lopez and Page apply so much pressure from basically every part of the court. So if they can remove that pressure and their greatest strength, I think their odds are far greater at the baseline. What are your thoughts, Guy?
Yeah, we were also saying, you know, sometimes when you're implementing tactics, they don't, it's kind of a slow burn, meaning maybe you get down to love 3-1, but then slowly but surely the momentum starts to change. And they got to be willing to stick it out. I mean, all you got to do is look at what just happened the first set.
Yes.
So that tempo, again, that's how Page and Lopez play. If they are able to keep playing like that, they'll win this the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So changes have to happen. In basically what, I mean, when we're all teaching paddle, right? I mean, if you want to keep it as simple as possible, the easiest thing to say to teams, no matter what level they are, is make your opponents feel like they have to press before you do. And that's 100% what's happening with Florentina Hanisch and Zubori.
Yeah, when your opponents aren't giving you anything, a lot of times you can start making low percentage choices just because you feel like you have to hit that tighter, better angle, or you have to hit the ball harder than perhaps you're comfortable hitting, or you need to hit hit a deeper lob than you know is safe. I mean, playing a consistent team makes you a lot of times make that lower percentage choice.
What do you think of this I formation with Hanisch staying back?
I think it's interesting, and I think it's a different look.
Yeah,
it's
listen.
going to be great. You got to test it out. Because you don't know until you try.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, even though the set was a little closer than 6-2, at the same time it wasn't.
Right.
So, I mean, them making changes, and it doesn't matter if it's one change, two changes, adjustments. So what? They're doing something about the tempo and disrupting it, breaking the rhythm.
Again.
40-15.
Just such a great move. Lopez has full momentum moving through that ground stroke and then coming in, applying pressure, immediately blitzing on it.
Yeah, you don't see Hanisch backing up that much like she's doing. I mean, she just wants the time.
Yeah.
40-30.
It's a great move by Zubori. Talk about a nose for the ball. She jumped on that drive. I like how they're connecting in between points, pumping each other up. Again, such great, consistent, quality lobs. You don't need to lob anybody much further than the service line. Really limits how much offense Zubori can create on her overheads. The further back she is.
Well, you know, Hanisch and Zubori for years have been the team making other teams feel like they kind of feel right now. You know, Zubori just puts so much pressure on you with her movement from the baseline. Hanisch has set her up beautifully with their lobs and whatnot, but again, just trying to hit an angle that's not there,
right?
Because they don't want to see the firepower.
Yeah. And again, it speaks to exactly what we've said earlier, that a team with that much offense at the baseline a lot of times will make you hit an angle perhaps you're not set up or able to hit because you're too far off the net, and that's exactly what just happened.
Well, it's a different mentality too, Denise. I mean, you're standing at the net, you always know it's coming.
It's right.
It's gonna come. It's not like they're gonna lob 30 balls in a row. So if you're the baseline team and see this, what?
I would.
I mean, how about this? How about this? It's 2-on-1. So, I mean, that's
kind of fun. It's like monkey in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely, visually, it creates, it can, I feel like, throw your opponent off a little bit and perhaps try to lob too much to the left or right to make, you know, Zubori move around, or perhaps they try to hit too tight of an angle to keep it away from her because she's just so good up there. Probably feel like, oh, I can't get the ball around her.
Well, you know what? Here's what I think. Because she likes to move and reach and lunge, which is what she's doing if she's playing the whole net by herself.
Yeah.
I think just drive right at her.
Right at her. Yep.
Go right at her.
Absolutely.
Don't hit it away from her.
Right, and just simply because of the fact, too, when you, oh, wow, it's a great ball. When you drive at a player, they are reacting and defensive. But when you try to drive around them and they're moving to the ball, they're in control of that volley.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times, to your point, Guy, people think, wow, they're such good volleyers. Well, they're great when they're going and lunging and leaning to the ball, but not when you go right at them. That's a different response. Wow, did you see how low Zubori got on that?
She sure did.
Use.
So good. Again, I really like the communication, discussing, I'm sure, a strategy or play they want to implement, something they've been seeing
you know, Denise,
unfold.
this is what they have to do. They have to keep going into the bag and saying, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Just
Advantage, Hanisch, Zubori.
And they really have this game broken their rhythm, Lopez and Page.
I mean, that's one of the differences. Wow, look at, again, Zubori's movement.
Hanisch, Zubori lead 1 game to love.
Great
in
adjustments.
The second set.
Yes. But again,
Lopez,
Zubori's
Page won the first set, 6 games to 2.
Zubori's movement is creating a lot of problems right now. Trying to hit the ball away from her, creating some unforced errors that we typically don't see very many of.
Well, you know, playing in that I formation, we've seen teams do it in the past. It's been a little while. It's been a minute. But the fact of the matter is, it lets Zubori be Zubori.
Absolutely.
That's it. And Hanisch and Team Zubori need that to happen.
15
She's right there. She feels good about that. All right, Taya Page to serve. Zubori to return.
Denise, I have a question.
Oh, Guy, what's the question?
Do you think everybody wants to know what the question is? Here it comes.
Oh,
you ready?
Geez. I don't know.
It's a good one.
Okay.
It's a really good one.
Fire away.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Do you think if you asked Lopez and Page where they would rather play the net or the baseline, what do you think they would say?
I think they would say baseline.
I do too. For sure. That's a good question, wasn't it?
Guy, I was honestly a little nervous. I'm like, we're on air, Guy. Keep it clean.
Yep. That was a clean question.
It was. Okay, look at Zubori coming in off of Floor's forehand. Wow, that's just a great overhead.
And again, that ball, Page went right at Zubori.
Yep.
Because Zubori's looking, like you just said a moment ago, to lean and move and reach. And it's easier for players to poach and hit those volleys when you're trying to play keep away from them.
Yeah.
By the way, too, if you go right at them like that, where do you think Paige thought that ball was coming back to if it was her?
Right, exactly.
You know, she knows it's coming back to her at the same speed that she hit it at.
I do like this formation a lot, Guy. I think it's
too.
disrupting their normal, because let's face it, there's typically, you know, a few different formations at the net that almost always are repeated, but very, you don't see this formation very often, so
yeah,
I think it's forcing them, or they're having to think differently about the court spatially and what angles, high percentage angles are available to hit.
So, by the way, you and I both had some version of Hanisch and Zubori staying back. I mean, we're getting 50% of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
kind of like better odds than that guy.
Yeah. Wow. It's changed the tempo. That's all that needed to happen.
Great lobs. There you go. Coming in on that. It's a great lob. Awesome. It's just always trolling for that secondary drive and then continuing to apply pressure.
She puts so much, Zubori puts so much pressure on the middle of the court.
Here we go.
Yep.
I mean, once again, there's experience right there, guy. I mean, Zubori looked over, saw the depth and pace of that ball, and started moving in well before Hanisch even hit the ball.
If you could draw up a play from Hanisch and Zubori, you would probably draw up that play 7 out of 10 times.
Over and over.
That's what they do so well.
Yeah, Hanisch does an amazing job of consistently getting that ball low, which allows Zubori to just fly in loose and free.
Yeah, that's a great example of a play where both of them 100% know their roles.
That was a great shot. Hit the nick.
And that's one thing they want to avoid is getting caught in that transition. Fine, Zubori's up, Hanisch is back, them scrambling around. Not gonna favor them.
Both Page and Lopez have such great serves.
They really do.
Just set the point up in such a positive light.
I was watching them warm up. By the way, they warmed up for a good 35, 40 minutes, maybe more, before this match even started. So they never play their way into a match. They're ready to go from the first drive on.
Lopez, Page. Tied. 1 game all in the second set.
I know that Zubori's missed a few volleys here, but I still like that formation, forcing them to hit different angles, different shots, and just the visual of the court looks so different with Zubori being up at the net and her partner Hanisch back, just looking to clean up whenever she's needed.
Well, I think, Denise, we've established one thing for sure.
What's that, guy?
This match is not going to go slow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exciting. I mean, this is great paddle to watch.
It's just, again, I know we've said this a number of times, but Lopez and Page just apply pressure in so many different ways. It just, I feel like most of the time their opponents feel like they can't, there's no air. They can't come up to anything because it's just coming at them from so many different angles and so many different spins and pieces.
Yes, it's one of those matches where it's going to go fast, it's going to be quick. There's going to have to be a lot of shot making. There's going to have to be a lot of great volleys from both sides.
Yep.
Because you're seeing Zubori trying to create, which creates a lot of movement and transition on the court. And you know,
30 love.
Just again, that's where I think Lopez just goes right at Zubori, not trying to hit it around her.
Yeah.
You would agree that that's what Zubori wants, right? And by the way, you hit it around her, so what? Hanisch is back there.
Right, and in the, you know, in the warm temperatures, sometimes if you get that short big ball going right at the paddle, because the volleys are just harder to control.
30-15.
Well, remember too, if Zubori's looking to move, she's always leaving the spaces she's in.
Yes. Such a great kick on Hanisch's serve.
Okay,
Zubori has such a solid stance, guy. I just love it. Like she loads, and her just foundation is just so solid,
Back. 40, 30.
which allows her to just generate so much torque. on some of these shorter lobs.
30 off.
Although she just missed that one, she just has such great overheads. Great drop shot by Zubori. Awesome effort by Lopez running that down. Again.
40-30.
That's so pretty.
You know, Denise, too, going to Hanisch and Zubori, I mean, I think let's just be crystal clear here. I mean, whatever their tactics or strategy will be, it has to include getting Zubori just as involved as she is now.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to take that to win this match.
Yes. Well, I feel like the more Zubori moves, the more balls she sees, the better she gets.
Yeah, she thrives on that.
It's one aspect of many of Paige's game that has improved so much this whole season is her screens. It's not that she couldn't get them before, but the quality lob that she hits out of the screens is consistently so good. Look at the torque that Zubori generates for upper body, just rotating through her awesome overheads.
Advantage, Hanisch, Zubori.
Again, there's that miss because I feel like they're trying to keep the ball away from her.
They are. There's no doubt about it.
Leading to low percentage angle choices that they're hitting.
Exactly. There was no angle there.
Yeah. So I would say this formation is kind of challenging Lopez and Pejic in a different way. 'Cause I don't know another team that does this, Guy. Do you?
You know, there were some men's teams that had done it in the past. I mean, this is about as dedicated to a tactic as you could see.
Yeah.
And you know what, Denise? You could do anything you want as long as it's working.
True.
Game, Hanisch, Zubori. Hanisch, Zubori lead 2-1 in the second set. Lopez, Pejic won the first set 6-2. Yeah.
All right, Guy, a little word from local sponsor Pure Hockey. At Pure Hockey, our mission is to share our passion for hockey and deliver an unmatched shopping experience to inspire a lifelong love for the game and to be a trusted partner for players, families, and organizations nationwide. Come visit us at Pure Hockey Store near you. So I really think this formation is disrupting the flow of Lopez and Pejic.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it.
Different look. It just makes them see the court in a totally different way.
Absolutely.
And as a result, they're hitting low percentage shots. Eventually, not right away. They just eventually try a little bit too hard to keep the ball away from her.
Well, they haven't figured out how to deal with it yet.
Right.
Love 15.
I would be interested to see if they do start, like we've mentioned a couple times, going at her, because going around her hasn't worked.
Such a great move by Zubori, following in her own shot.
Love 30.
It's definitely an energy shift, Guy. You can kind of feel it coming through.
This is the Anna Marie Zubori show. You know what? It's so fun to see, as talented as she is. I mean, we said it in the beginning.
15-30.
Just one of the most dynamic women's players to play the game, but her movement and her anticipation is really unmatched. It's on full display here.
Absolutely. She was the first woman
30 off.
Like we'd always said, if, man spin, right?
Yep.
She was the first one to be like, heck no.
Well, I don't think I've ever said that, but that's what you guys call it.
Man spin.
Yeah. Okay.
40-30.
Okay.
You just call it spin because you're a man? You don't need
I mean,
it would be like saying man spin?
Yeah. I mean.
Got it.
That's a good talk, Denise.
Good talk. feel like much closer to you right now.
Good, good, good.
Game Lopez Page tied 2 games all in the second set.
And Lopez and Page needed that game.
Yes.
They sure did. And, you know, a quick game like that sometimes can change the momentum and recreate it back into their favor. Denise, in our other ladies semifinals, we have a 5-4 score. Allison Morgan and Charlotte Sikorga are up 5-4 against Macy Elliott and Lynn Burris. I would expect that in that match.
That sounds like
I would expect that to be close. Just
all 4 of those players.
Every time they play, it's a battle.
100%. They're all just such good people. Just shows they're having a good, solid match, and that's exactly what you want to see at Nationals, guys. Come in here, all the time, the preparation, the practice, the sacrifice. You hope that everybody shows up here and brings the best of what they have.
Do you think you'll see Hanisch fade back here and leave Zubori up there?
My guess is the first weaker shot, I thought she'd be.
See, so that's why I asked you the question before.
Right.
You see when they're both up there?
Yes.
So when we talk about formations, you know, that's the formation they want to play in, which is a typical 2-up, 2-back formation.
There she
You
goes.
see Hanisch backing up,
and
smart.
she peels, very smart.
Yeah.
Again, I just think how the court is visually perceived, it might, like how that affects your mind and what you think is high percentage, how small the court looks, how big the court looks. And ironically, the more space I think there is, the smaller the court looks. It's so odd.
Yeah, they continue to try to hit around Zubori.
Yep.
Still effective.
Boy,
you know,
just Lopez just steps into that.
Yeah, she sure does. You know, if this continues too, it's just, I mean, the tactics other than a one-up, one-back eye formation.
So smart.
It's just going to be shot making.
Yeah. So smart of Hanisch to peel right away.
Yeah. She'll back up.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Guy, when you have such a seasoned team like Hanisch Zubori,
40-15.
So many adjustments planned and so many weapons and so many strategies to pull out of their back pocket. So the fact that they pulled this formation out and is sticking with it because they're seeing the rewards of that.
Hanisch
So
Zubori
smart.
lead 3-2 in the second set.
All right.
Lopez Page won the first set 6-2.
Guy, a little word from our sponsor, Corient. Corient is excited to partner with the APTA because whether as advisors to our members or as members themselves, they are already part of the APTA community. Learn more at www.getcorient.com, the official wealth sponsor of the APTA.
All right, here we go.
All right, Guy. I think I'm liking what I'm seeing as far as I don't want this awesome match to end, and I think that Hanisch Zubori have found something in their formation of one up, one back, with Zubori just constantly trolling for balls and her partner Hanisch just back in the backcourt ready to clean up anything that gets by Zubori.
Well, the good thing about it too, Denise, is they're committed to it.
Yes.
There's no wavering. There's no waffling.
No.
You know.
I think Zubori is so good when she's just like when she's up there. There's no cord. The cord is clipped, and she has free roam of the entire front of the court.
And she certainly has no problem covering it.
No, her reflexes, her anticipation.
15 all.
So impressive.
So would you say, based on the last few games here, that Hanisch and Zubori have to find a way to get the net, because that's where they're doing the damage?
Yep. which is opposite when we started.
Like this.
Right? We're saying no, they should be back because of all the firepower.
True.
But back in a different, like now they're at the net, but in a different formation, which is, again, visually, I think causing a lot of problems, forcing like a lot of low percentage drives and angles.
15-40.
And you know, in terms of this formation, we say, well, oh, something different, try it. You could, but I'm not saying you even need to have close to the range of Zubori, but you better be able to move.
Right.
And volley and hit balls that are awkward. And
see, I like, so right there, Zubori held her ground in order to not let the cross-court ball through. Because as you know, Guy, that's the much more difficult shot for her partner Hanisch to cover, because it can involve the nick, the backside, side back. She kept that down the line open.
yeah, and the roles have kind of reversed. Now we're saying, hey, Page and Lopez need the net.
Absolutely.
Deuce. Yeah, didn't get me.
Page's serve, again, just sets them up in such a positive light for their first volleys. It has so much spin, typically very deep. Again, Zubori up at the nets, trolling and looking for anything she wants, really, and just knowing her partner's behind her to cover.
Yeah, you know.
Again, leaving that down the line open, Guy,
Great.
makes it a lot easier for Hanisch to recover and get that ball back.
And, you know, I was going to say with Zubori up there by herself, you know, the main thing, yes, go at her if you want. It's going to speed things up like that. But they just
Hanisch, Zubori.
They just need a lot higher and deeper.
Yep. It's a great shot. Zubori closes.
Zubori says, yeah, Guy and Denise, keep telling them to hit it right at me. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, man. Hanisch has really been bringing so much more offense from that deuce side.
Absolutely. Well, she needed to in a very good way.
No, absolutely, but it gives, I feel like it gives Zubori so many more looks.
Well, it creates
secondary drive.
creates movement.
Yep.
You know.
Yes.
Like here, you know, even though it's 2 balls later, the initial drive created the movement because of her lob.
Yep, and the drive pulls them closer to the net, and the lob pulls them back. It's a great point. Solid get by Zubori. She gets the nick.
And as much as Page and Lopez like to play this speed, Zubori for sure does.
Yes.
I mean.
Yeah. Look at Zubori heading in well before Hanisch even hit the ball.
And look at this transition.
Deuce.
I mean, it was a good choice to lob. I mean, but typically with by-time lobs, the higher you hit that lob, the more time you're going to give your partner. So I think she probably wanted that back and dial in her depth target a little bit.
Well, you know, too, as fast as that point's going, sometimes it's tough to slow your hands down.
I know.
You know?
Right,
I mean,
really easy for us to call that from here.
I
like
mean,
that.
everything was fast about that.
Yeah. I like that Page and Lopez took a moment to talk, to reconnect. It's a great serve. Per use. Page staying back.
Hearing an update from our other women's semis, it's now 5-all expected. Lynn Burris and Macy Elliott playing against Allison Morgan and Charlotte Sakura.
Advantage Lopez, Page.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a battle, Guy.
You know, and the longer Hanisch and Zubori play in that I formation, the more looks Lopez and Page get, so they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And needless to say, I mean, when Zubori's roaming around, she's kind of got to be flawless.
Yep.
I mean, it is 2-on-1.
But again, it's identifying what your strengths are and putting yourself in a position to hit more of them.
Look
And
at
by
Paige and Lopez in the same little setup.
I like it. It's a.
Look at
It
this.
says we've got a showcase showdown
Wow.
here.
Like,
That's kind of fun.
they're like, yeah, we learned from you right here. We're gonna give it a
No,
try.
that's
Let's see who does it better.
That's exactly what this team's been doing all season long, guy. So although we're joking, we're not. It's a great point. I like it. Hanisch is getting pumped up.
And I tell you what, this is almost a perfect temp for Zubori.
Mhm.
Just cutting that ball up. She's hitting it she's fully committed to it, never even thinking about missing it.
Again, Zubori comes right in off of Hanisch's great return. And now they've just taken the net and they're able to get into their really successful adjustment against Paige and Lopez.
You know, another interesting conversation to have here is when you have just one person playing the net, your net scheme's whatever you want it to be.
Yes, there's
it's not like she's talking to Florentina Hanisch going, this is what I'm going to do. I
No.
mean, if you ask Zubori what she's going to do, she's going to say, whatever I create, that's where I'm going.
I mean, just zero restriction.
I mean, look how much she's
Step up.
swinging the
it's
ball.
ridiculous.
She could swing the ball she wants. She knows she's the only one covering it.
I love it. It's really, this adjustment is solid.
Advantage, Hanisch, Zubori.
I think it's kind of driving Lopez and Paige a little crazy. Because she's everywhere. Her anticipation is so good. She's moving through the ball. Her paddle pretty much stays the same distance away from her body. She's always moving.
I would say what's creating, though, so it's going against what Lopez and Paige want to do. What's creating all the movement is the driving. Because Zubori's volleying behind them and making them scramble. They just need to go lob mode and say, you know what?
Slow it down.
Guess what? You want to play up there by yourself, you're going to have to hit 500 balls to win a point.
Yep.
The more they drive, the more Zubori's like, thank you.
Right. She's hitting phenomenal angles. She's even getting there so early she can kind of swing through it a little bit. That is a great point.
Thank you, Denise.
You are very welcome. Again, Zubori follows up Hanisch's return. And then they get into a formation. But I agree, the more they volley, the more trouble she's causing. I mean, it's unbelievable. So
Denise, I'm going to say right now, I've never seen a women's paddle match like this. It's so good. It's so amazing.
It's an incredible display of just athleticism. And
Yeah,
raw
it's just
talent.
so good. Have you?
No, that was an exceptional display of wow.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Advantage.
Wow.
And by the way, we said it 10, 15 minutes ago. It's going to be about shot making.
Jeez Louise.
Which
That's
is
just incredible. All four players. Zubori was everywhere. Actually, maybe just three players. I don't know if Hanisch actually hit a ball. All right, Taya Paige serving. Zubori just returned. That's it.
That's the ball, though.
Great.
If they are going to drive it right at her.
Right at her.
Because she was looking to move.
Tied 3 games all in the second set.
It's an amazing job getting out of the way of that ball.
Question.
Answer.
How's the heart rate? I mean, mine's dancing around a little bit. know what I mean?
I know what you mean. God. What do you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, everyone. This is where we wanted to be. 3-all second set.
I love
Florentina Hanisch serving. I tell you, everybody, calling this match with Guy Moore with Denise Murphy, I mean, just I think this is kind of what we hoped for and expected, right?
Yes, just an incredible display of, again, talent, athleticism, sportsmanship. I mean, the shots that are being created and generated are exceptional. The strategery is, just talking about this new formation right here, well, the formation that they're playing in now, with Zubori up at the net, kind of having free reign for everything, and her partner, Florentina Hanisch, just back at the baseline in case anything gets through. It's really causing a lot of problems.
And I was just going to say, and I think Paige and Lopez are starting to recognize it, Zubori's doing her damage up there with volleys.
Yes.
So you just saw her miss an overhead there, but the lob was down the line, making her move back to her left. I mean, that's what they're going to have to do is lob really well, and again, make her hit a lot of balls, and the court will open up.
Yes.
She's not hurting them with her overheads.
No.
She's hurting them with her volleys and her athleticism.
Yeah. Right. She just gets right on top of that net and then is able to hit so many angles on her volleys. And now the chaos that was created by the drive is on your side of the net, not on the opposite side.
And we all know this. You have someone hanging on top of the net. They're basically yelling out at you, I want a volley.
15 all.
Yeah. It's a great take by Zubori. The ball just died in that ad side screen. The dreaded 7th game, Guy.
I don't even know if either one of them are thinking about it. They're just.
That's a great shot.
Wow.
That
And again, the volley.
I'm telling you, hitting that second panel there on that in the side screen gets right behind the baseline player.
So how about this? Why aren't they lobbing their serve return, and then they could come in and remove Zubori from the net?
That is a great question, Guy.
40-15.
I mean, it goes against what they want to do, but it would eliminate some of that formation.
Yes. I agree 100%.
Especially as good as their return is.
Again, I love that Zubori let that go. It was a little bit out of her range. And instead of trying to take too much, no, that's a great play. Just making such good decisions, Guy. Great pressure.
Game, Hanisch
Great
Zubori.
points.
Hanisch Zubori lead 4-3 in the second set. Lopez Page won the first set 6-2.
How many other teams at this level do you think could effectively pull off this tactic like Zubori and Hanisch? Honestly.
Very few.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good, but there's only one Zubori I know of.
Yeah, this would be one of those things where I'd say do not do this at home. But it's just, again, I think the court just looks different when there's only one person up there.
For sure.
And as a result, the angles of the drive based on where they are in the court, Lopez and Page are just making a few more errors. They're just trying to force the ball out of Zubori's range, which is leading to missed shots.
Yeah, Zubori single-handedly is making them feel pressure.
Yes, yes. Which is so ironic, right? You'd think that two people up there would be more pressure, but with only one there, again, her anticipation, her reflexes are so superior that she's just jumping on in there for everything.
Yeah, this pressure wasn't even close to this with both Hanisch and Zubori at the net.
All right. All right, B. Lopez taking us out for Game 8 of the women's semifinals of the APTA Nationals here in Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Cricket Club.
Good time to take a little moment.
Yes, I really like that. Just to pause, especially when you feel like there's a shift, a little momentum. There's a little more perhaps energy on one side. Just take a pause, reconnect with your partner. I love it.
And what's so impressive about Zubori is the fact that she's completely taken over this match.
Oh, she was right there.
15 all.
But she's doing it and making good decisions as well.
Yes.
Things are so fast, I guess there's not a lot of time to think about it, but that's still right in her element.
And just balance. I mean, again, Zubori got that look to come in off of Hanisch's great lob. So there's just, they balance each other so well, and they know exactly what each other is going to do based on the ball they just received. I mean, I love that, though. Zubori coming in.
Sure.
30-15.
I think that's the first drive that Hanisch has missed.
It's a great miss.
It's a
I
good
mean,
take.
like we said earlier, I mean, that is their 1-2.
Yep, yep. I love, again, Paige sliding right, getting really low as well to visually open up the court to her partner. So Lopez can keep that ball right in front of her.
40-15.
Yeah, so I would say, again, you know, get through this game. We're looking at 4-all, and then Lopez and Paige got to find a way to get to the net a little bit more often.
I would agree. Reason being that formation with Zubori up at the net and Hanisch back at the baseline is the biggest problem right now for Paige and Lopez.
40-30.
Again, the hands, Guy.
So quiet.
So quiet.
Do you see her base, Zubori?
Yeah.
And she's only looking at the ball coming at her. Such good lobs.
Back. Game, Lopez, Page. Tied 4 games all in the second set.
And Denise, you know, when they are at the net, I mean, they're keeping Zubori honest with the side backs, but, you know, they got to take some of the air out of her, you know, by playing Hanisch a little bit more. And,
yes.
And they did that game. Also, too, you think about it, right? Hanisch isn't touching a tenth of the balls that Zubori is, so it's easy to get a little out of sync.
Yeah, I had it back. 1 ball lane.
How quick will Hanisch go back here?
15 left.
Within the first 2 shots is my guess.
You know, though, I do like her being up there, because then
well, she stayed up.
She could, you know, yeah, Zubori knows where the ball's going to come back to, and then moving back is no big deal.
It's a great lob by Hanisch.
Yeah, you see her fade back.
It's a good move. Again, Zubori knows where that ball is going to be. It's just, oh, that was a difficult ball, just below the level of the net.
And again, if the match is going to go this fast, which is not going to slow down, it's going to come down to shot making.
Yeah.
That's it. Who missed a volley? Who missed a drive?
Again, Hanisch floating back to the baseline, allowing her partner, Zubori, to just have full reign.
And notice she's just kind of rocking on her toes, Hanisch, just so she's able to move. I mean, it's hard to do that.
I mean,
not involved at all.
She's
I mean,
taking the role of 2 people up there.
Exactly.
But that's, again, a testament to her skill level, Guy. I mean,
30-15.
Well, we were joking earlier, but not really. I would not really. The average athlete, paddle player, would have a difficult time navigating essentially all the volleys and the majority of the lobs. She's just really showcasing her level of talent.
They've got to stay in this formation.
Yes.
Especially at this point in the match. Otherwise this set slips away from them.
Zubori applying the pressure.
30 all.
But again, she makes it, they win the point.
Yeah.
She doesn't, they don't. I mean, that's,
But I do like it.
for sure. Well, that's why it's 4 all.
No, it's such a treat to watch 4 incredibly talented athletes just get after it and playing great paddle here at the
30-40.
the National Championships in Philadelphia. Big point.
Big break point here.
Yes.
See how quickly Flora will move back. There it is.
There she does. Nice and easy. Oh, wow. That was a sun situation right there, Guy.
And again, the better lob.
The longer the hang time of that lob, the more that forces your opponent to stare into the elements, right? And the elements could be rain, snow, sun.
I do think, though, Lopez and Page are starting to figure out that formation. It takes a while.
Yep. Yeah, there's for sure an adjustment period. They just have, meaning Lopez and Page, just have so many ways to apply pressure. The constant barrage of high quality drives, and they can mix up the pace of them, but even their lowest pace is a big ball.
Well, not only that, you know, taking nothing away from Hanisch and Zubori in the first set, but Lopez and Page played about as clean of a first set as you could.
Yep.
15
Zubori's
love.
right there. She's making all the right choices. The execution has just been off on a handful of those balls, but
well, and you know, to get them back to neutral, which we were a minute ago, 4 all. I mean, it's going to take
30 love.
Almost flawless execution.
Yep.
And again, we're repeating ourselves. When you're playing against 2-on-1, you don't have any margin of error.
Zubori.
I think everyone watching just heard that update.
Yep.
Maciela and Lynn Burris just won the first set against Allison Morgan and Charlotte Sakura.
$30-15.
2 points away from the match here, Denise.
I mean, they're just, again, another impressive aspect of Lopez and Page is just how rock solid they are mentally. It's not just the shots. It's not just the strategies, the positioning. It's under the clutch, in the clutch moments and times, they are there and they show up.
30 all.
I just did the classic commentator's jinx right there, guys.
No, honestly, Denise,
I
I was
don't think
just
I've
about
ever
to
seen
remind
this.
everyone how great their serves are.
It is, they're both of their serves are absolutely
I
incredible.
know, but I was honestly just going to say that.
Well, it doesn't.
But
It doesn't change that viewpoint, but it just the timing isn't very supportive.
It doesn't count if I didn't say it.
Great lob out of that corner by Lopez.
Yeah, I think this is it. Just keep lobbing.
Yes.
I mean, it'll be obvious when to drive.
Yep. Well, again, I like that again, switching in the backcourt, bringing Page back into the ad side. Lopez on the deuce.
I had it. I saw it good.
Little discrepancy on the line call, but our awesome
30-40.
ump, Jack Taylor, overcalled and said it was good. So hard to tell sometimes, Guy, between the shadows
Oh,
and
it's very difficult.
the spins, the paces. It's a great ball.
Deuce!
It's a great dropper.
Sure was.
I think it's extra exciting when you're able to drop because they've been on the other side of that so many
For
times
sure.
for Zubori.
I think that's their
So
first one
yeah,
today.
Yes, it is.
Picked a good time.
I love that. That return by Hanisch, just so smooth. Again, Zubori is up here working the overheads, picking exclusively on Lopez over here in the ad side, and then swings it over to Page, who's typically not on the do side. That's a tough ball. There you got the sun issue in that corner as well, Guy. So that down up really exaggerates how long they have to stare into the sun. And Page, I think, had to stare in a little bit longer than she wanted to on that one. It's a big point for Hanisch Zubori, capitalizing. Again, look at this formation.
Yeah, I know. On both sides.
So fun, and here we go. Such a great volley. She puts a nice little underspin on that. Oh my gosh.
Zubori.
Page was there, Guy.
Hanisch Zubori tied 5 games off.
Zubori is seeing the ball so well.
Yes. I mean, she's moving beautifully, and her anticipation is like off the charts right now. Well, probably always, but just in this formation, it really highlights how early she just sees it and is already moving to the spot. So impressive.
Have you ever seen Zubori and Hanisch play this way for this long?
No.
Neither have I. I mean, they're learning
I
something.
haven't
Listen,
called many matches of theirs this year, but
I haven't.
in general, no.
If you see it, it's brief. It's not a committed
Right.
strategy like
Right.
this.
They weave in and out. But
Yeah.
this is why, if it's not broken,
15
why
love.
fix it? I mean, Zubori is, the more she moves, the more balls she sees, the better she gets. It's like her engine's just revving up here. And when somebody's like that, you can't isolate. You know, if they were, Hanisch was up there with her at the net, they could hit a lot more balls than Hanisch and just keep Zubori in check. But when Zubori has free range, that's a scary thing. Great shot by Lopez.
And that's what it's going to take.
It's a phenomenal. She held that so long.
You know, on both sides of the net, it's going to take Zubori playing at this level, sustained level, and it's going to take Lopez and Page being able to hit shots like that to keep it away from her.
Yep.
Zubori's just playing that good up there.
Right in the middle of the court. Such a smart target. Let's see, Zubori again. Her spin in the range of different overheads that she can generate is just awesome. She is. She just reads it so fine. It's really.
I mean, what am I supposed to say to that?
Guy. Do you hear Floor saying, get back, get back? She's like, Zubori's like, heck no. I am feeling it. That's like when, it's like they're probably like, how do we keep it away from her? Because they can probably, it's palpable the energy you can feel in just the groove that Zubori is in right now.
Yeah, they just don't have an answer yet.
No.
I do stand by the fact that she's hurting them with her volleys, though.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I feel like they need to lob more and really create,
well,
you know, some imbalance in her positioning, like pulling her back.
They've got to do
further.
something they're not used to doing. They got to actually slow it down.
Yeah.
Because Zubori has sped it up, and the speed is not favoring Page and Lopez right now.
40-30.
All right, big point here, Guy. Hanisch is serving up 40-30.
Do you think in their mind, Paige and Lopez, I mean, because it could be as simple as, hey, we've got to make Florentina Hanisch touch more balls. Find a way.
Yeah.
Because
you need to cool off Zubori because she is on
well,
fire.
right. I mean, they're at 5-all because of how well Zubori's playing. I mean, again, Hanisch is playing her role beautifully too by not getting in her way. But
such a great, I love, again, the trajectory of that overhead. Zubori's letting it drop. That was a very nice call. Just such a great spin.
I mean, she is hitting forehand volleys, backhand volleys. I mean,
yep. Again, her feet are always underneath her. She's balanced, hitting her overheads, stepping in to hit her volleys. I mean, just reading every shot. It's just so fun. What the heck? I mean, seriously. Holy cow. What a fun sport we're watching right now, Guy. I mean, that was incredible.
So we go back to, we might want to make Florentina Hanisch touch another ball. I mean, wow.
Holy cow. That was a spectacle. Just such her anticipation, her setup, her read.
You know, though, after, I mean, Florentina Hanisch and Anna-Marie Zubori, one of the best women's teams of the last 5, 6, 7 years, whatever.
Yep.
But they've just found a whole nother layer here right now.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, we mentioned earlier how we don't really know many players, if any, who could play this position and be so successful.
Well,
I mean, it just...
You're talking about the number 3 team in the country, and Lopez and Page. They've tried it a couple times this match.
Yeah.
Without the success that these guys are having. And there you go. They've just got to, they honestly got to
and
lob that way.
She goes right back.
Yep. These guys got to get in.
Advantage, Lopez, Page.
It's hard sometimes when you're not touching balls, you know.
Yes.
You don't see Hanisch miss that,
No.
ever.
No.
It's just tough.
It's very tough. You get a little tight. You know, when you're moving and grooving, you're loose.
Well, and your partner's doing so much, you know.
Yes.
I mean.
All right. Such a great serve by Hanisch. Wow. Good look. Way to let that one go. That's a nice thing that Zubori, she has full authority to like take anything she wants or let anything go, and 100% trust that Hanisch is going to be there, and she will.
The biggest thing is we're watching this too, Denise, with the errors that you're seeing from Lopez and Page, you know, trying to keep Zubori out of the mix. They're trying to hit around her.
Yep.
And that's not what happens when both Hanisch and Zubori are at the net. There's targets. So there's no more target except for the open court. And we all know what that does.
Yeah, right. I love the down up. That extra jump gives a little more height on when the ball bounces, which makes it so much more difficult when that ball hits the back screen, Guy.
Absolutely.
It's not super fun when it literally just rolls down, hence why they call it the waterfall.
And the ball is playing heavy today, even though we're seeing craziness in terms of the shot making here, and it's fast, but it's windy still, and the ball's playing heavy, so that also helps when that waterfall's hit to make the ball stay on the back wire.
Love, look at the such diversity in the spin she's applying to the ball.
Hanisch Zubori leads 6-5 in the second set. Lopez Page won the first set 6-2.
I mean, all of those overheads had a different spin, Guy, and that just makes it so much more difficult to anticipate exactly where that ball is going to be.
Yeah, she's hitting them all for front foot, and because she's the only one, look, there is no overhead and volley player anymore right now.
Right.
Honestly.
No, it's true.
There isn't. She's
She's wearing
able.
a number of hats up there, guy.
Yeah, she can do whatever she wants.
Yep.
So she's controlling the entire tempo of the Hanisch Zubori team. So it's just and here's the other thing, she knows every ball's hers.
Yep.
So
No, that's why there's zero hesitation. She's able to take whatever she wants up there when Zubori is up there and knowing partner Hanisch is behind. And she lets, if she's not feeling it, not comfortable, not balanced, she knows that she can let that go and trust Hanisch is going to be there.
yeah,
And she is literally every time.
Yeah, the 1 out of 20 that actually gets by her.
Yeah.
15 love.
I
And
like
you know
the
what?
move, though. That's
It's a great
again,
move.
a
You
great
got
move.
to take that with all the errors that she's creating on the
Yeah.
other side of the net. She's not going to bat 1,000.
Again, Lopez. Such a great serve to set them up in a positive light up there at the net. I like that.
The boys, look at where she's
look at her.
standing.
I was just going to
Yeah.
say, she's just actively
She's
trolling.
3 feet inside the baseline.
30
A
love.
rare long lob miss. Lopez serving to Hanisch. Again, the serve is so good. Hanisch defers and lets it go to the screen. These nice middle overheads. Perhaps trying to draw Zubori further out from her side. Nice little block by Zubori.
Love 15.
Again, Pejic doing a great job letting that ball drop.
I think everyone recognizes how important this game is,
Yes.
obviously. Forget the game. How about this point?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a very intentional point. You can see there's a lot of thought. I mean, everything's being perfectly placed. It's a great get by Hanisch in the corner.
Two
It's
nicks
in a row.
Yep.
It's great overheads.
40 love.
And as well as Zubori has been playing, I mean, that's tough to continue with too.
Yes.
To play at that high level for that long. But again, with Lopez and Page, I do think it's going to take that to win this match.
It's a great pickup by Lopez. That was a really tough volley. Such a good drop.
40-15.
You think they eliminate that middle ball right there? I mean, Zubori, either they've got to go into her side back.
Yes.
Or
40,
go straight
30.
ahead at Hanisch, because she's standing in the middle of the court already. You see how slowly she moved
Oh, yeah.
the point before? Look where she'll stand and just put pressure all over. She's inside the baseline.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Here it
Again,
goes
the
again.
intention to do that is to take time away.
Yeah.
To be able to jump on that ball and perhaps make them volley a little bit off balance. Because Page and Lopez, gosh, talk about, they just adjust in position so quickly based on where they just put the ball.
30.
There's Zubori way over.
Yeah. She is.
Good ball by Lopez.
Really hunting.
Yeah, I think their bailout spot's got to be straight ahead on that deuce side. They
Yep.
can't keep hitting balls to the middle. If they're going to go with Zubori, it's got to be to her side back. And they do have to go to her to keep her honest. I mean, she's halfway across the court.
Yeah, you want to keep her back. You don't want her, Zubori moving
They don't want
into the court, imposing herself.
They don't want Zubori playing the baseline like she's playing the net right now, the entire court.
Really great point again. You can just feel the importance, the weight of this point, guy, as this match continues to funnel down. If you let your mind drift, you start thinking about the horizon and what this could or could not mean, you know? So that's where the mental fortitude comes in. Who can just remain in the present and stick to your plan. I mean, it's such a great
Wow.
call.
Oh, great setup by
Dave
Hanisch.
Lopez Page tied 6 games
That
all,
was-
second set.
Wow, that was a great play by Floor.
Tiebreaker.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
You know what?
I mean,
they got exactly what they wanted.
They did. It's hard to, it was beautifully
And Floor
developed.
said to herself, the next time I get this ball that's
Yeah.
harder into the screen, I'm going to move around and drive the ball.
Yes.
There was zero indecision.
Gosh, the sun. So again, when I see something
One
like that,
love, Lopez Page.
I'm sure Hanisch and Zubori are like, we need to send our lobs up and make them experience exactly what I just
Absolutely.
did.
And depending on where the sun is, the height of the lob too, because
Yes.
the sun's way above you, you lob higher. If it's kind of in your field of vision, lob lower. I don't like playing in the sun much, Denise.
You
Nope.
don't, guy. I actually love the sun.
If it's on my back.
Nice with a cold cocktail in your hand.
Yep.
Little daddy.
Yep. You can see the wind. I mean, it's been windy here all weekend combined with the sun.
Yeah.
This morning it was cloudy, but I mean, that wind's a good 30 miles an hour, steady.
Yes.
All right, one love. Lopez Page. Got a hat on. Page put a hat on. I don't blame her. All right, it's shot making time, Denise.
Yeah, it is.
There it is.
Way to peel.
Not committed.
1-all.
Yep, she had too many choices, Guy, and sometimes when you have the Rolodex of thoughts, things can go wrong. Again, Lopez pumping up her partner, Paige. I love the positive encouragement.
2-1, Hanisch Zubori.
Okay. Hanisch serving.
And those signals
Lopez
are
returning.
where she's serving and where Zubori's going. Which means everywhere, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. In my mind's eye, Guy, I had like 1,000 different arrows pointing everywhere.
Exactly.
Again, Hanisch is just off of center.
I mean, she's covering
She's kind of
everything.
flowing. Zubori's just putting on a show here. Just showing just how talented she is.
Yep.
I mean, it's just working brilliantly,
3-1,
Guy.
Hanisch Zubori.
They're really forcing some low percentage choices, like they're trying to perhaps hit it a little bit harder than they're comfortable with, or hit a tighter angle than they're comfortable with, trying to get it away from Zubori.
Do you think, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, do you think they just go right at her as hard as they can?
Yes, if they're going to drive, if the drive is getting them in trouble.
Yeah, it
so
is.
they either need to lob way more, or they need to pick exactly when to drive, and when they do, they should go put the ball right on her paddle, especially given
Yeah.
the temperatures. Harder to control.
I mean, and that's what they're so good at, is having a target.
Yep.
Now, like we just mentioned, they don't have a target.
Interesting. Look, they just gave up the net. Look out.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know if I
great
would
cover by.
say that too many people stand there when someone's coming in to hit an
I
overhead,
know.
but Zubori knew
She
she
wants
was
the
getting,
ball so bad.
Yes.
But it's, again, if you're feeling it, that's exactly, and we've said it before, the more she moves, the more ball that touches her paddle, the better she gets. And honestly, the ceiling's the limit. There's no, actually, what am I saying? There is no ceiling to what she can do and cover.
Yeah. Sir,
The question is if there'll be an adjustment on Lopez and Page's side.
Well, they have to make one.
Yes, but will they do it before this set slips away is the question. I believe they will find it and make an adjustment. I don't know if they see it now. What do you think, Guy?
We've kind of gone back and forth. If they're going to lob, they need to lob higher, deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're going to drive, they've got to stop trying to hit around Zubori.
Yes.
Just too many mistakes.
It's a great screen drive by Hanisch.
I will say this too, Denise, is unbelievable as Zubori's playing.
Such a great move.
Hanisch is being an amazing role player here.
Zubori can't do what she does without Hanisch.
No, she's being an amazing role player.
Yeah, everything, just the confidence that Zubori has in Hanisch to, when she's up there, to cover for her. Zubori doesn't have a drive in the middle of the point without Hanisch's awesome lobs. So they're kind of the yin to the yang, and they both play their roles brilliantly. Okay, here we go. Zubori serving. Lopez returning. And then they just switch. Hanisch fades back. Such a great ball.
I mean,
so
6-2.
What I love about
Zubori.
her setup for that cutter, Guy, is you don't know if it's just going to be an extreme slash that she sends deep and low, or if it's going to be the drop cutter. It's, again, talk about unnerving. You don't know whether to start running or getting low and get ready to peel the ball off the screen.
6-3, Hanisch Zubori. 30-15.
Again, a lot of conversation, pumping each other up. We've got Hanisch and Zubori up 6-3 in the second set tiebreaker. Here at APTA Nationals, we are live from the Philadelphia Cricket Club in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Denise, I'm not certain in all the years I've seen one person just completely control probably one of the highest level paddle matches I've seen.
6-4, Hanisch Zubori.
100%. No, she is single-handedly just taken the wheel and has not let go. And is driving. I mean, it's working. It's very, very effective.
40-15.
It's been 2 match or set points.
Absolutely. They need to,
that
Hanisch
Lopez
Zubori,
and Page.
yeah, they need to be careful. They played those 2 points very quickly.
Too quickly.
Wow, good ball by Hanisch.
Yep, long.
It was out.
Okay.
Sure was.
Tie break and set, Hanisch Zubori.
Well, Denise.
7 games to 6, 7-4 in the tie break. Match tied, 1 set apiece.
This is what we want. We'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by Joho.
Want to see how volley can transform training at your club? We've got a great offer for you. Gather 30 of your club friends and you'll get a free 30-day trial of volley. Experience firsthand how volley's trainer can help everyone improve. Increase reps and track your progress, all while training smarter. Don't miss out. Visit getvolley.com and unlock your club's full potential with a 30-day free trial.
At Corient, Wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
You know you have an account with Philadelphia. A, they're covered properly. You know, the policy is second to none. And B, you're going to have no service issues, whether it's inspections, claims, billing, whatever the problem may be, they're on top of it.
I love working with Philadelphia insurance companies. It's easy doing business with them. They make us look good.
It's a cultural thing with Philadelphia. Everybody is there for you.
Total Platform Tennis, the country's leader in court construction.
You know you have an account with Philadelphia. A, they're covered properly. You know, the policy is second to none. And B, you're going to have no service issues, whether it's inspections, claims, billing, whatever the problem may be, they're on top of it.
I love working with Philadelphia insurance companies. It's easy doing business with them. They make us look good.
It's a cultural thing with Philadelphia. Everybody is there for you.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're here at the 2025 Men's and Women's National Championships in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with this semifinal match begins between B. Lopez and Pejic playing against Florentina Hanisch and Anna Marie Zubori. Unbelievable paddle, Denise. 6-2 the first set, Lopez and Pejic. Unbelievable adjustments by Hanisch Zubori, 7-6, and I mean, this is what we paid for, right?
I mean, it's so exciting, and the degree of talent and the shot making we're seeing out here and the court coverage, Guy, I have to say this is one of the best matches I've ever witnessed. I want to talk just real briefly about the difference between the first set and the second set. So first set, Lopez and Pejic won fairly decisively 6-2. We had been talking, Guy, about, gosh, what adjustment should Hanisch and Zubori make, and we're saying, okay, they need to give up the net because Lopez and Pejic, they bring firepower from both sides, and it's just never ending. They constantly kind of have you on your, you feel like you're on a firing squad, right? But then in the second set, Hanisch Zubori completely changed their formation, whereas Zubori is just up trolling wild and free up there, getting drives, hitting her overheads, and Hanisch is just back at the baseline looking to clean up and cover anything that gets by Zubori. And that formation, I know we both feel the same way, has been the difference maker and allowed Hanisch Zubori to succeed in that second set, winning it in a tiebreaker, 7-4.
Yeah, and we haven't seen this committed adjustment from Hanisch and Zubori. I mean, they've certainly figured something out, to deal with the top 4 teams in the country. I mean, this is Zubori showcasing how amazing she is with her range and her creativity and the different looks that she can give you. She can hold it and sell one thing and give you another.
Yeah.
I do think the adjustments that Lopez and Pejic have to make now are, A, when they're at the net, making sure they hold those games.
Yes.
Right? They need to make sure that those games are theirs. And then when they have this formation with Zubori at the net and Hanisch playing on the baseline in the eye, 1, they have to lob better.
Yes.
And 2, when they're driving, fully committed right at Zubori.
Yeah. It's proven Zubori has such a nose for the ball. We've mentioned it before, when she's moving towards a drive, she is in control. So she flips that very quickly. The offense that she's receiving, she flips it and mirrors the offense right back. However, when you drive right at her at the net, she's now more defensive, reactionary. So those, and I know you feel the same way, will be the ones that most likely will elicit an error. But they're Hanisch Zubori are just implementing this strategy brilliantly.
You know what the best thing for Page and Lopez is right now?
Guy, what is the best thing for Page
What
and
you're
Lopez
looking
right
at, a break.
Yeah.
You know?
Time.
Yeah, just a little time. Let Zubori cool off.
Yeah. When Zubori heats up, Guy, I mean,
Well, we're seeing it.
she's
This is
she
this
could
is
be unstoppable.
This
I
is
mean,
full display.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, she's covering left, right.
I just feel like the cage door has been open and she's just wild and free, just going nuts.
They've been in my jacket for a while.
And
You want to try another couple?
she has the skills and tools to do that. It's incredible, the court coverage and the amount of chaos that she is creating. And again, we mentioned she's creating mostly off of her volleys. So if Page and Lopez start lobbing more when Zubori's up there, I feel like they can create more instability in her volleys. It'll just force her to volley from off the net.
So watch the layers, right? Yes, lob better, right? So she's not hitting everything off her front foot. But if you start going at Zubori, guess what that's going to make her not do? Move as much because she knows you're coming at me.
Yes.
So it takes her range away.
All right, starting this third set here. Taya Page serving. Floor Hanisch just returned.
And that's the other thing, in as nice a way as I can say it, when you have one person completely controlling the outcome on one side.
Wait, that was a practice.
They've got to make Hanisch hit more balls.
Yes.
Find a way. And it's tough when Zubori's at the net, moving left and right and doing what she does.
Yes, but Zubori is literally on fire. They need to find ways to cool her off. And there's no better way than to have her just simply hit less balls. But it sounds quote-unquote simple, but when she's able to cover so much court in such a high percentage way, I mean, there you go. It's a great rundown. And Zubori, instead of retreating, she just read it beautifully and stepped back in.
Denise, I have one for you.
Guy.
Here it comes.
Okay.
Because Page and Lopez are trying a bunch of different things.
Yes.
I mean, it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, I think they should just hope Zubori stops playing this well.
Yeah.
Honestly, all kidding aside.
No, sometimes you just have to weather the storm, right? And that can, absolutely. But right now, she's in the zone. I feel like the ball feels like it's 3 feet wide for her right now. She's reading the ball, moving beautifully, choosing the right shots at the right time. I mean,
and you know, for a young team in Lopez and Page, I mean, they're not going anywhere. I mean, they just played I mean, with all that set could have easily been 6-1 or 2 the way Zubori's playing.
Yes.
I mean, they hung in there.
No, they're so locked in. Great get by Hanisch, knowing that ball shoots out. That's hers to cover. Net cord never hurts, Guy.
Never.
She was there, too. I feel like that's frustrating as well.
Absolutely.
All right. A rare miss on the serve by Page. I mean, we've talked about just how their serve is definitely one of their many weapons. Not many players can actually say that.
So Page and Lopez got to be careful here because, I mean, we already see how well Zubori's playing. You give her a lead now.
Yes.
I'm not sure what else we could see, but.
But again, I feel like Zubori was just inching in right there. And just enough to make Page, you know, if you see a player shrinking your target area, Guy, I feel like that can be just the distraction needed to just either miss your target or miss the ball.
Well, you don't feel like there's anywhere you could hit it.
Right. Right. The scope of where you possibly could put that ball just significantly.
And by the way,
narrowed.
today it's true. There isn't really any spot to hit it.
Right. Not when Zubori's coming in, Guy. But you know what? Such a seasoned team of Hanisch, Zubori work so hard on their game. Not like, I mean, they all do, but we just have to know about it. So they've just made this a brilliant adjustment, and this, I had mentioned it earlier, I believe this is probably the 4th match of Lopez and Page that I've called, and this is the first formation or obvious strategy that has worked. Now that's a great play, Lopez capitalizing on that drive that went right at her.
Going right at her. That's what we need more of.
Yep. Because now she's defending instead of offensively moving to the ball. I mean, just notice her balance. Even though she's covering the entire court, Guy, she's always balanced.
The ball never gets outside of her. It's always in front of her.
Yep.
Like there, you
Shoulders
see she step with her left foot there to keep her body behind her. In tennis, she would step across and paddle lateral.
Yep. I mean, it's just so good. She just stays small.
40-15.
And then I think they're trying to take time away from her moving, and it's, again, Zubori's movement is extracting more errors than I've seen from Page and Lopez. So again, are they going to make the adjustment? Are they going to be committed to more lobs and slowing it down? Because right now, hitting bigger, better drives is not the answer.
No. Basically, Zubori's making them play faster than they've ever played.
Yep.
Probably faster than she's ever played.
All right, deuce. Floor Hanisch serving. B. Lopez returning. That is a really tough ball. Great get by Lopez. Just look at how close she is, Guy, to the net when she reads that a drive is coming.
Yeah, and even though that lob's not bad, I mean, it's service line. She moves back and.
Okay, that down up volley, Guy, is so effective on that side to Lopez because she's staring. I mean, now that's, again, it's a difficult shot in and of itself, and now she's looking into the sun.
Right.
Just the degree of difficulty just spiked.
Yeah, and she's probably going to drive it, which Zubori wants.
Right.
Zubori wants drives.
Oh, yeah. That's how she's creating chaos for Page and Lopez right now. Because she's just not, we've talked about this, she's received very few defensive volleys. Volleys are hitting right at her. She's moving towards everything and just able to hit so many high percentage angles.
Making sure they're on the same page.
I like that.
Getting Florentina to slow down a little bit.
Ladies, time. Thank you, Anna.
I love the little encouragement words. Wow. Okay, just so we're aware how big Lopez hits her balls. That return knocked Zubori back, and that was just.
Is that what it takes to get it by her?
I mean, I guess, but at the end of the day, she won the point. It's crazy to keep her composure like that. The ball's a little high, but just like, gosh, just the force. Again, great shot. Page turned the towards the sunny side, and I think that played a factor. I like, again, we'd said it earlier about Hanisch Zubori right now. Pejic and Lopez just taking a moment, discussing the game plan going forward, pumping each other up, making sure they're on the same page.
Yeah, and really no significant adjustment to Zubori up there yet. There just really hasn't been. I mean, they're not sticking with, hey, you know what? If we want to go down driving, let's do it. Do we want to lob better? But there's really, it's just frustrating for them.
Yeah.
Sounds like that other semi's over, Denise.
Yes, I believe Burris and Elliott are moving on to the finals of the APTA National Championships here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the beautiful Philadelphia Cricket Club.
7-5, 6-11 that match.
Again, Lopez and Page do not miss balls wide. I know that was a cutter, it had extra spin on it, but it's just keep away from Zubori, and it's
not
virtually
working.
impossible.
Yeah, not today.
15 all.
That's the only way to keep it away from Zubori.
To involve the net.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great time to pull that out. That's how good these players are, Guy. Third set, semifinals of the women's nationals.
15-30.
It's time to pull out the net cord.
Back, yeah, one ball lane.
Just out.
30 all.
I don't think Lopez and Page can afford to go down 3-love here, so.
No.
And like we said before the third set started, I mean, you give Zubori even more breathing room where she's front running. I don't know how it could get any better, but.
Right. Oh, I liked how she changed the angle on that.
Just held it.
Yep. Again, she's moving up or back based on the quality of her shot. So Zubori's always looking to defend.
And there's the ball at her again.
It's a great.
That's the one.
That's the money.
40-30.
The money ball right there.
That maybe we'll just keep it simple. If they're going to drive, we've said it numerous times. Just go at her. I mean, let the lob come as it will. I mean,
not around. At.
Game, Lopez, Page. Hanisch Zubori leads
Boy.
2-1 in the third set.
They're going to want that one back. Hanisch Zubori. That just, it's a very different switching sides of the court, Guy, being down 0-3 or just down 1-2. 1-2 is just like a blink. 0-3 can make you question.
And honestly, that's what they got to hope for, is just Zubori just isn't playing quite as well as she has been. You know, you saw a missed volley, although it was hit hard at her, and then that mistake there. But
I think that, yes, Zubori volley, but I think Page and Lopez are figuring out where to place what target is
there's
actually.
no doubt. They have to.
So they slowed it down. I felt like they were lobbing more, and then when they're pulling the trigger, wow. Whoa. That's when you feel like you're bouncing on the edge of a cliff there, Guy. Lopez was so fast. It's tough to slow down.
That wasn't
so much
an easy
momentum.
ball. Even when she got there, that was not an easy ball. It was so low.
15 all.
Again, Zubori and Hanisch touching base, slowing things down a bit. I like that a lot. They've been here before, Guy. And there, Hanisch fades back.
Goes to her spot.
Zubori assumes control at the net and ends up taking about 99.9% of the balls.
Good lob, get in.
Zubori's almost baits her to hit back to her. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable. She's like, look, I'm out of position. Not.
Yeah, Page and Lopez, when they lob the ball that well, they both better get in there. They don't
Yes.
want to leave a hole because Zubori's going to hit it there and come right back in. I mean, she is on top of the net.
On top.
Denise.
Within 8 inches.
And again, her hands are
Yes.
so still.
Again, looked like she was going to drop, and at the last minute, pushed into it. Lopez and Page are doing a great job defending. Definitely slowing it down a little bit more. I like that off-pace drive a lot. She could have lit that up. She just let her momentum really carry that ball over.
You know, another thought too, Denise, is from a tactical perspective with Lopez and Page. Again, it is one person up there making, instead of letting her dictate where all the balls are going, if Page and Lopez could figure out a way to make Zubori swing the ball from side to side.
Yes.
She's still one person covering the whole net. They will create more holes as well.
Yes.
See, they're just kind of lobbing in the middle. If they lob down the line, there,
Yeah.
there.
Pull her and then go to the other Q3.
Yes.
Pull her to the left. I mean, that's
See,
the toughest overhead to make is when you're moving back and
See,
to the
that
left.
lob to the middle puts no pressure on her.
Right.
She does, I mean, there's 4 or 5 in a row, right?
I love Zubori's, like, she can just hit so many different overheads, Guy. You know, right now she's just going off pace and kind of flat. Normally she has like a big cut. Then she can hit a roller and come up on the ball. I mean, it's just, she can hit the kick. I mean, she's.
Listen, not a better place to pull this out than the Nationals, right?
I mean, yes. And we already spoke about it, Guy, that there's
better lobs,
really
and that's
just,
what it creates.
Yes.
Get in. Both of you got to be in. Both of you got to be in.
Page and Lopez have really made. Yep,
They
there you go. You
just-
kept saying, you got to get in, you got to get in.
Yeah, there should be no hesitation there.
That's a great off-pace ball right at Page's feet.
They for sure want the net.
Just extracted the air on the volley. So well played.
But I do like the lobs they were hitting.
Yes.
Them. Yeah, it was better.
No, they've made a. They have made a. They see it. We can see that they can see it now. They're lobbing more, and when they do drive, they're going right at Zubori, which is creating way more problems in kind of limits. More balls have gotten through, Guy. Because when you think a big ball's coming right at you, you tend to stay home a little bit more.
So Denise, if someone we were teaching that had just been playing paddle for like a year said, "Hey, I just watched this match. When are you going to teach us that formation?" What are you going to say to that?
I'm going to say, what do you mean?
Exactly.
I'm going to say, if you have the same skill set, if you're able to volley like Zubori, if you're able to hit spin like Zubori, and if you have the footwork of Zubori, sure.
Yeah, sure.
That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
No problem.
And guess what? I'll never see anybody doing that.
Right.
I mean, it's just the talent, the skill set that's required to create so much chaos. It is really incredible. I mean,
The thing about it too, Denise, is she's making it look effortless.
I know.
She really is. I mean,
Yes.
she's very efficient at playing the whole net by herself.
That was a great ball.
Hanisch Zubori lead 3-1 in the third set.
I mean, just such intentional, solid play. And the adjustments that Lopez and Page have made are lengthening out the points for sure and limiting how much damage Zubori can make up there. But
yeah, they're going to have to hope for some Zubori making some misses that she hasn't missed.
15 love.
And they probably need to get a little lucky here and there.
Yep.
I mean, the storm has been like for a good hour now.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's.
What happened to weather in the storm?
Yeah, I mean, they are wearing black. Hanisch and Zubori, dark clouds.
Right.
I mean, just the pressure, her movement forward, her just relentless.
Well, it's
move forward and aggressiveness. It's just
it's put Page and Lopez in a completely reactive state.
Yes, which I can't remember the last time, if I have, where I've seen them uncomfortable.
Right. It hasn't been lately.
No, and right now, figuring that out, it seems like there's little hesitation. There's trying to go for perhaps the wrong shot, given where they are in the court, and most importantly, where Zubori is. Once Zubori establishes herself and gets right on the net, you're going to be chasing balls the rest of the time if you're driving.
Yeah, and that's just it. No matter if there's one or two players at the net, and in most scenarios,
yes.
I mean, I would say almost all of them, that's what's going to happen. And if you are the baseline team and you find yourself scrambling around, you are driving too much.
Yeah, that's the classic. It might feel good to light it up and, yeah, I'm driving so well. But if your response is, well, how'd that work for you?
Right.
You know, are you winning those games or losing those games or those points? And when you start connecting the dots as to the chaos that's generated and what's it off of? Well, it's off of their drives because Zubori is just jumping at every opportunity.
Well, the other thing it's caused too, Denise, is, you know, where Zubori and Hanisch have been a little vulnerable to just specific teams is when they've kind of frozen Zubori out of it altogether. But that's only half the time. The other half the time she's at the net, and she has completely dominated the last set and a half doing what she's doing. So there's just not as much pressure when they're on the baseline because they know they're controlling the other side of it.
Yeah. Wow, phenomenal. That's a great heads-up call immediately by Hanisch saying she needs help.
And you notice Zubori,
there.
Well, she's been there all day,
but
she was there anyways.
Oh, yeah. And that ball flew out of there.
It sure
she
did.
had to peel that off the ground. But again, understanding what your role is. It's you and your partner covering the court together.
And Lopez and Page, this is a must-win game for them.
Again, I like the contact point on Page and Lopez's overheads. Just setting their paddles so low, sending that ball back low and deep.
So we haven't seen a point that's that speed in a while. So I'm sure they'll learn quickly that that's the speed they need.
Yes.
To switch and change the momentum. And again, in this scenario, in this formation, Floor has to hit more balls.
Yes. Yeah, the more they give, the more they get, Guy. The more pace they give them, it's coming back in spades. The more angles they can hit. So just dialing it in right here, setting that ball back slow, deep, and low. I really like it.
I would keep it away from there. That's why. She's just waiting.
She's got to leverage. They need to move their target over a little bit more.
Yeah, it's got to be.
That
the middle ball is going to get them in trouble.
That second post. It's that Sun.
Sun.
That's a rare miss. but that sun is in a prime spot over there. Again, when Hanisch Zubori end up switching sides, I'm sure they're going to be putting up nice high lobs to stare into that beautiful sun.
Right.
Game, Lopez, Page. Hanisch Zubori lead 3-2 in the third set.
All right, Guy, a little word from our sponsor, Corient. Corient is excited to partner with the APTA because whether as advisors to our members or as members themselves, they are already part of the APTA community. Learn more at www.corient.com, the official wealth sponsor of the APTA.
We got a match.
We do have a match, Guy. It's been an incredible display of athleticism and talent. We have Hanisch Zubori up 3-2 in the third set here at the Philadelphia Cricket Club in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for the APTA National Championships.
Florentina Hanisch serving, her partner at the net, Zubori. And you got
great ball.
15 love.
I love Zubori's. The stare after that cutter is pretty awesome.
Yes.
Not taking her eye off it.
Yep.
It's pretty
Yep.
awesome.
Thanks for
Laser
coming.
beams.
Thanks for coming.
You'll get your credit card will be charged at the door.
Yeah. Great volley by Lopez.
Solid answer.
Yeah.
Lopez returns the gaze. We're on like Donkey Kong here, Guy. So good. I mean, the
emotion's so good.
closing.
It's amazing.
The pressure. Again, we spoke of the different ways that Page and Lopez apply pressure. Just reading opportunities so well to come in. And their hands are so quick. It's a great take by Zubori.
Well, you know, too, the more Lopez see this, the more they get used to it. I do feel like.
Yes. They look more comfortable back there now,
yeah.
Guy, and making better choices. They're just slowing. Wow. Great cover by Page. Lopez sick wheels. Getting up to that cutter dropper that Zubori keeps dishing out. She's really making them pay for any short lob, Guy.
And we probably don't talk about it enough, but the screenplay of all these players.
Oh, my goodness.
So unbelievable. And the defense that they're able to play. I mean, Zubori is putting so many RPMs on that overhead, and they're making, I mean, they just have a good read on it.
Yep.
15-30.
And again, you don't know, did Zubori miss that because they just got back 20 unbelievable overheads, you know, and perhaps she's trying to go for a little bit too much spin.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I'm starting to feel like Lopez and Page are making Zubori, they're flipping the script a little bit, making her feel like I still got to do more to win the point. Just because they're used to it a little bit more now.
I like how Floor came in to join her. I think Floor could sense a little shift.
Smart.
And said, you know what, we're gonna go back. Once again, I'm sure the hopes are to keep them off balance. Now they perhaps need to view the court and do something differently if they started figuring out a strategy to break down Zubori when she's up there by herself.
Well, we haven't seen Hanisch stay up at the net like that for an hour.
No.
So how quick is she making some decisions, feeling the change, right, like you just said?
Yes.
And then by the way, they didn't talk about it. She just felt it.
I love it. I love it. Very intuitive move. It's just, again, reading and getting a sense. Sun, Guy. She turned and looked back to get that ball off the screen and I think was blinded.
I mean, what do you think the miles per hour on that forehand was, though?
I don't even know. It's going to leave a mark, Guy.
Yes.
You get hit with that sucker, You're going to be reminded of that for a long time.
And so, you know, for Page and Lopez, when they're both up there, they do have 2 targets instead of playing keep away or just 1. By the way, I don't think Zubori's a target when she's up there. Again, they're just trying not to hit it to her, especially the drives, which hasn't worked for them.
No, but the last couple times when they have received a drivable ball, if they go right at her, they've extracted some errors, rare errors from Zubori up at the net. 'Cause again, it's a warm day. When she's moving to the ball, she's in control. When that big ball is coming upon her paddle, in these temperatures, it's really difficult to control.
Wow, great
ball.
Wow.
I mean, again, it's just just keeping that wrist locked up, getting so low on those volleys. Mixing up the spins, paces of overhead.
Yeah, those lobs got to be deeper. She can't keep cutting it. It's just a matter of time.
Yep. They get shorter, shortest.
There's a good one. There you go.
That's a smart play to let that go.
Wow.
Again, Hanisch playing her role brilliantly, is there when she needs to be. By taking that out of the air, she potentially stopped Page and Lopez from taking the net over. So, I mean, the support role of Hanisch is A++.
And she, on that screen drive, like she hit previous, she just waits and waits, let them, Page and Lopez, commit, and then hits it to where they're not.
Again, I love that cutter, even just that mid-court cutter. Oh. It's a tough ball. Hope she didn't take that in the eye. That was an incredible play.
She turned her head.
Just so fast, though. Kudos to Lopez. I mean, she is so quick out there.
So now comes the mindset, if you can't lob it deep enough, don't lob it.
Right.
I mean, because she's
Right.
clearly feeling that.
Right.
I mean,
Again, this a testament to the deep well of offensive weapons, right? To just pummel you. They start, you know, hitting these shorter lobs. It's just a matter of time. The spin and the variety of overheads that are at Zubori's disposal are.
yeah, you just never know when it's coming.
Right.
They all look the same. The only time that you know you're not going to have to deal with that is when she's getting pushed back beyond that service line.
Yeah, but she's so disciplined. She's so disciplined, not trying to go for a tight angle. Or you could see as soon as she got 1 foot beyond the service line, Guy, she just started pushing it deep down the middle.
You know,
a little bit of the side of the ball to keep that ball low.
Yeah, there's just been no roller coaster. She sustained this
Yes.
level.
Again, having a very clear understanding of where you are in proximity to the net. That defines what is high percentage and low percentage options. Further off the net you go, you've got to keep that ball more middle. Look at how, again, Zubori following her ball. It's just textbook. Cannot read where she's hitting those overheads. So good. Such a great overhead. And again, testament, Page grinding this out big time. Her screens so solid. Getting her paddle under that ball. They know I love how, again, Page and Lopez know that next ball Hanisch is looking to hit to create a lot of problems, so they just stay back on it.
Do you think they have to come in and take advantage of that?
I
at
would.
At least one of them, right?
Again, because
Page on her line.
Yes, to flush out Zubori because
Yeah, you can't let her just stand there.
No.
She knows that they're not coming in.
yeah, and eventually that happens.
Deuce.
So I know just the move they need to be. I feel like
Well,
take the longer that Lopez and Page are at the net, or the more opportunities they get to be up there, the higher percentage chances they're going to succeed.
well, generally, too, we don't teach, hey, you want to lob over the team's head so you could take the net. That's not really defines a good lob. But
Yeah.
in this situation, you almost got a lob. And, I mean, they're not getting the ball over Zubori's head, but it's creating the open lanes to drive in. But you definitely have to get to the net.
Yes.
The best shot on the court right now is Zubori's overhead.
Just
Which her
and honestly, her decision making, like
For
even
sure.
just letting that ball go right there. You know, you're feeling it.
Advantage, Lopez, Page.
She's been hitting a gazillion balls. It's so easy to be like, oh, there's another one. It's like, nope, too low. I'm gonna let that go and let my partner, again, knowing and understanding what their roles are, Guy, based on their position on the court. They do it beautifully.
And let's be clear why Zubori's able to do this and do what she's doing. It's all because of all the weapons she has.
Yes.
She's got the roller,
Game,
the cutter.
Lopez, Page. Tied, three games all, third set.
The drop volley. I mean, she's got every shot, so you just kind of got to stay on your heels. But they are lobbing better.
Yes. A couple missed drives from Hanisch in that game, which is rare.
So
Looks
Denise, we are a little over 2 hours in, and we are completely even.
Ta-da. We are a set apiece and 3-all here with B. Lopez serving to Flor Hanisch. You can see all the people. Guy, it's a party here in Philly at the Philly Cricket Club. Everybody's done such an outstanding job creating just such a running and organizing such an amazing tournament, but also the party, the celebration for the incredible season this has been. Great close.
Wow.
And it's just taken a while to learn how to deal with the pressure.
Right.
It's still going to be shot making, but I feel like Lopez and Page are feeling a little less pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely been a shift. Such a good ball.
15 all.
Again, Zubori running up to that ball, Guy. Sets, look at her. She just
Off her
has
right,
like
off her
such
right foot to let that drop.
a stance. I mean, just loaded up because of her solid foundation. Just so good. Hanisch, great drives, drawing them in.
And I still say that Page and Lopez got to do everything they can to keep the net.
Yes, and as quickly as you said that,
right.
Zubori is now in the driver's seat, exactly where she wants to be.
And again, Hanisch just doing a great job of playing her role. Get in, ladies. Got to get in.
She wants to.
30-15.
Hanisch is trying to do a little bit too much back there with that shot, trying to hit a drive to be able to keep Zubori up there, but intention is pure, but that needs to be hit in a high percentage way. Wow, great ball. Here she comes. She's going to get there. So crazy. Come on.
Wow.
So good. Lopez is so fast. I mean, the hustle.
One of the
And then-
highest level paddle matches I've seen.
Yeah, it's exceptional.
All four players.
Yes. And again, the heads up play to close the net and just send that ball right down the line. Soft enough where it can't be run down. It's executed brilliantly.
I mean, when someone beats you like that, you can't really even feel that bad, could
Right,
you?
no, I mean, you're just kind of like, wow. But this is the way it should be. I mean, it's the culmination of an amazing season. We're here at the semifinals. And all 4 players are just laying it on the table. At this point, Guy, this is where I think the scale tips a little bit at this juncture to Zubori Hanisch, just simply because of their experience. They've been here before. This is a big stage. They've experienced this before. Oh, just missed it.
Deuce!
I don't think
We will
much
see.
is gonna change with what we're seeing here. It's gonna be who makes the shots.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah. Smart. Lopez and Page just taking a moment there to just slow it down. Sometimes just talking about things, just restarting. It's like hitting a button. Probably reinforcing a strategy, reminding each other of where safe zones are, where the danger zones are. You can see how windy it is. There's little debris on the court that Lopez cleared. Here we go, deuce. Smart. See, every time Zubori gets pulled back around the service line, she's just putting that ball right back through the middle, Guy. Textbook, high percentage paddle, right there.
Do you think, I was gonna say, and that's it, great lobbing.
I mean,
advantage, Lopez,
again,
Page.
that was the first time I saw her float back and not go back to the middle. She tried to do too much with that. That's why.
Well, those are
deuce.
Just happy to get that back.
7, 8 lobs in a row that were service line area.
Yeah. It's a great ball. Good pressure return by Hanisch.
And that's what I think this match comes down to, who just makes that kind of untypical error.
Yep. And not changing your decision making given where they are in the match. You know, if your head's not in the present, literally one point at a time, you start thinking about the horizon and what the value of this could mean. That's when things start to go wrong. Your foundation starts getting a little shaky, Guy.
4-3 in the third set.
There's a big for Hanisch Zubori.
Well, and Hanisch has done this the entire match. She knows when to pull the trigger.
Yep. I mean, her decision making's spot on. I mean, that doesn't waver very much, ever.
No.
The matches I've watched of.
Well, if she misses, she's still committed to what she was doing.
Yes.
They're usually not tactical mistakes. I mean, if she missed the ball a little long or in the net, I mean, hitting it to the right spot. I mean, she does not make too many of those mistakes.
But I love how Hanisch is just bringing more offense.
Yeah, she kind of made that adjustment a few weeks ago.
Big time. I mean, it just adds so much dimension to her game. Not only does she lob very intentionally and very successfully, but now she's got the pulling the trigger more on her drives, which creates a lot of instability for the net team.
And as a lob better, do you think Page and Lopez should hit some like just push drives at Zubori to pull her back in?
Yeah,
Or-
with some probing drives,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like that, interesting.
Nice, a
See,
great move.
that's
And that's how quickly they got to get to the
yep.
net.
You just need to flip it.
Love 15.
And
That was a great move by Paige,
and
reading that.
doing it on her line, you know, staying on her
Yes.
side of the court.
Yeah, they need to try to make Zubori a little uncomfortable up there. So I like throwing in that blitz that Paige just did. Again, here we go.
Yep.
Zubori
Yeah, that's
should have got out.
Love 30.
But they're
good.
yeah, they're seeing the court better now.
Yep.
And again, I love Paige blitzing on her line because there's no angle behind her.
Right. Yep, she's setting herself up in a positive light for success. All right. Such a good match. We've got Zubori serving.
Love 40.
Such a good serve by Zubori.
It was close.
Yeah.
How quick is Hanisch going to go back here?
Here we go. Just very, very heads up. And again, the balls that Zubori are passing on, just a little bit out of her range. That's it. Zubori got back a little quicker that time, which helped her send that next ball back. Because the previous 2 times that they've blitzed, they've caught Zubori in transition.
Well, I tell you what, the lob has changed what's going on here. Lopez and Paige are lobbing so much better.
Yes.
And in the past game and a half.
Tied.
All right.
4 games all.
4-all guy. Third set with the APTA Nationals here at the Philadelphia Cricket Club in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Semi-final round. Calling this match with the legendary Guy Moore.
Denise, so good, so good.
So good, so good.
Now, what I was going to say, too, is that in the past game and a half, we're not talking a long period of time, but you haven't seen Zubori be able to use that cutter kill overhead.
Right.
You know, and that, to be honest, was setting everything else up.
Yeah, they're lobbing. Paige and Lopez are, the quality of the lob has increased significantly, and as a result, Zubori is not able to inflict as much pain up there.
Well, as a result, you're right, is what just happened, because now they're able to come in and take the net back.
They're giving it up.
Yes, because like we said a moment ago, that when you lob better, you create the big lanes, high percentage areas to drive to.
Wow, that was a sick reaction volley by Zubori. Just
15 love.
I think Hanisch got caught perhaps thinking, I need to move back into my position. It's like she hit that and started recovering already, Guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think like all of us, it's better to have more of the bang-bang play when you're going to drive and not have the time to think about it.
It's a great take.
30 love.
2 uncharacteristic misses by Hanisch Zubori. 2 quick points. They're going to want those back. Again, Paige, such a great serve. So we could say, oh boy, there's 3 missed returns here by Hanisch Zubori, but you know what? Paige's serve, credit to that serve for extracting these misses, because the amount of spin, the depth and pace of her serve, it's
And we have
really good.
We haven't seen 3 serve return misses.
No.
In a while.
No.
It's hard to stay at that level, you know, Denise. I mean, it's been for anybody. It's just been
40-15.
The intensity level's been a 10 for a while.
Oh my gosh. But again, the lobbing by Page and Lopez.
It's a difference.
And yes, huge difference in when they get that drivable ball.
Game,
They're going,
Lopez,
for the most part,
Page.
right at Zubori at the net.
Lopez Page lead 5-4 in the 3rd set.
And you know, Denise, with Page and Lopez, it took them a little while because that's not the style that they like to play.
Right.
So credit to them so far. I mean, win, lose their match. I mean, we've seen how many layers of adjustments from both teams, how many momentum shifts. No one's waiting either.
Right.
They're not saying, okay, we lost these 5 games, or they are making. That's why the score is what it is.
Yeah. So good. That when there's an adjustment made or a different strategy implemented, there's within a few games there's an adjustment made by the opponent.
And the interesting thing here, it's so dramatic. You and I could just read it and see it. You know what I mean? It's very intentional. Is my point.
It's not like, oh, I think this is a
Right,
strategy. Oh, I
right.
think this is what they're. No.
Right.
It's Ken Zubori. Just so instinctive with her movements. Anticipates so well. And again, Hanisch is reading the quality of her partner shots.
So that's the probing drive we were talking about.
Love 15.
Yep. Expecting the big ball and then end up pushing out.
Well, just to pull her back in.
Yes.
You know, you haven't seen her miss a volley like that in a long time. But if they're going to lob that well, then they have the opportunity to do that without worrying about her hitting cutters or spin or drop volleys because she's way off the net.
Great get by Lopez. Unbelievable.
Wow, Denise. Uh-oh. Go.
Oh, my gosh. It's so good.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what? Aside from the amazing shots Zubori just hit, can we talk about Lopez's like wheels?
Wow.
She just ran up literally to the door and got back to the baseline. Plenty of time to keep that ball alive. Great hustle and tenacity by Lopez.
Do you think we see more of that from Zubori? The hard one?
I think so.
I mean, I think it felt good.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Wow, Lopez held that really long. So
Sorry, it's a great look.
Yep.
30-15.
Hanisch serving.
I saw it. Saw it in. So I saw it on the line, but
Okay, overruled by
40,
Jack
15.
Taylor. That's why we have the umps to help call the lines. Everybody's trying to call him clean, but he's got the best view up there, guys. Sometimes
It's tough with all the spin and especially that
Oh my gosh.
depth.
Yeah, and it's windy. A lot of factors.
Game, Hanisch,
That was a
Zubori,
huge
tied,
game,
5
guy.
games all in the 3rd set.
And a quick one.
A quick one, and just that was big. Taking a moment, again, reconnecting with the partner. Probably remind each other of the strategy they're implementing at the baseline. What a great, this is a treat, guy.
Sure is, Denise.
Solid setup.
You know,
15 love.
the other really cool part of this is just the energy.
Yes.
I mean,
That surrounds them.
for everyone watching, I mean, it's just the venue is top notch. I mean, there's 300 or 400 people around this court watching this match.
Oh yeah, there's music pumping. There's beer tents, food tents, games everywhere.
15 all.
An amazing paddle surrounds us all.
Denise, do you feel like the momentum shifts almost every other game?
Yeah, it's frequent. It's very often. It's typically after a really long point.
Yeah, I felt
and
like
it has an unbelievable finish, and then all of a sudden it just shifts a little bit, and then it goes back.
Yeah, like I certainly felt like Pejic and Lopez had the momentum at 5-4.
Yes.
And then it's flipped again.
It's flipped.
I mean,
it's literally a delicate balance out there right now. Again, it's the Nationals. It's different when you have this level of meaning to this win or this loss. I mean, they're fighting for the championship here in the semifinals. So that added weight can show up in different ways, or managed and not show up at all. But at the end of the day, we're all human, Guy, and we do the best we can on every given day. So far, all four of these players are locked and loaded. They are locked in not only physically but mentally.
well, it's fun not only to watch this match, but to actually call it.
Yes.
You know, it's.
I feel like we're in there. It's a great take by Hanisch, throwing in that drive.
And, you know, just to prove how many great adjustments both these teams have made, you can't play 3 hours and be dead even.
Right.
And unless that's the case.
Yep. No, the decision-making guy, the strategery that we've seen, you know, has been just so impressive.
They're doing a better job of keeping that ball in the middle. They want to be careful with that, and that's why.
Great early call.
These guys should be switching back pretty quickly.
There they go.
Yep. Yeah, the ball's gotta hedge towards Hanisch. Otherwise, Zubori has been just moving forward so well all day today. And even as good as, yeah.
Such a good move.
Wow.
I mean, it's just fabulous, Guy.
15-30.
I mean, all four players, what they are showing us is exceptional. It just really is.
I think it's hard to understand how good her hands are.
Yeah.
She is literally 6 inches from the net.
Yes.
And not only that, she's hitting forehand and backhand volleys without even a thought.
Yes. And then taking it one step further, she's able to get back and be balanced for 99% of the lobs. So she
15-40.
has the speed and the strength to explosively move back or forward.
When's the last time you've seen a dominant performance by one person like this? Ever? Maybe on the men's side, Durant.
Yeah, maybe. Wow, look at that game. Yes,
Game.
I would agree with that.
Hanisch Zubori leads 6-5 in the third set.
I mean, what a difference maker.
Yeah, heard again. Hanisch Zubori knowing exactly what their role is and executing it brilliantly. That trust they have in each other, Guy, with knowing what each other shot they're going to hit. With the shot they're going to, you know, like for example, Zubori is going to pass on, and Hanisch is just always there. Have each other's back. It's pretty unbelievable. And on the flip side of that, Pejic and Lopez have made incredible adjustments and kind of slowed down Zubori quite a bit by lobbing more.
Yeah, because, I mean, they were down 3-1 pretty quick. And I was just going to say, Denise, this is the matchup Hanisch and Zubori want, with Zubori serving and coming in. And even though that was a great return by Lopez to start the point, I mean, they're in the driver's seat now. I'd be interested to see if that big overhead comes out, that big roller.
Such a good hands. Yeah, that was really effective a few blitzes ago. Guy, when she just lit up that roller straight down the line right at Lopez. But right now she's working her with, again, different spins, different paces, different depths of the ball. She pulls them back to the back screen, Guy. She brings them forward. She pulls them to the middle. She goes for the nick in the corner. I mean, she's always creating space and reading that beautifully. Paige sets up to take the drive. I like that.
Great ball. Good hold by Lopez. I just feel like Zubori has them so off balance right now still.
15 all.
They're having to hit great shots just to keep her paddle off the ball.
Yep.
I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
I feel like Paige and Lopez disrupted Zubori a few games ago, but Zubori's back.
Get the Storm's back.
The Storm, I feel like, is back. Again, the seamless switch back at the baseline to put Hanisch into do side, Zubori over in the ad side.
Two things, Lopez and Paige, that ball, I still feel like it's Zubori's just going to jump on one of those like this.
The middle?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
they
then
need
she
to hit
starts this engagement, and then that just favors her.
Yes. Yep.
I
mean, look at it. She's like the Terminator. She just keeps coming.
So the ball's got to go to her left, her backhand.
Yes.
Or it's got to go to Hanisch. It cannot go in the middle.
Yeah, she's taking advantage of that and just creating so much pressure.
Everything there.
Yes.
And you don't know what's going to happen. She just sits there and holds it.
And Hanisch fades back. Zubori stays up. It's a big ball.
30 all.
I tell you what, I was going to mention this a few games ago too. Not only does she go at her, but it's the height.
Yes, right at head height.
Because Zubori is so good at volleying when the ball's just barely over the net. She's looking for that.
But to our point again, Guy, where was that drive directed?
Right at her.
Right at her, not around,
Has
where
to
she's
be.
in control. It came right at her, which put her on extreme defense and reactive mode.
Great kids.
And mixing up the paces and spins. Zubori's overhead. The variety is just awesome. And look at that. That soft little one gets by.
30.
Guy. It's the nick. Boom. It's not the big, really spinny one. When you have the yin to the yang, Guy, it's really hard to defend, right?
When the ball's, here we go, match point, Denise, after a good 3-hour match. I look for Hanisch to back up. I think the cutter's coming.
Gianni cutter. Great overhead again. Most of these are hitting very close to the neck. And I just love how Zubori knows which balls to let go. Again, Paige Lopez switch at the net, putting Paige on the right side. This is so exciting, Guy. Match point averted, back to deuce.
Wow.
They are pumped.
You almost feel like it's got to go to a tiebreaker.
I mean.
Matchup still favors Zubori and Hanisch, though, with Zubori at the net.
I would agree. This formation has
Their
created a lot of problems.
Their
for,
game to lose.
Again, notice the depth of these overheads, of the lobs.
They've got to get that lob deeper.
Yeah, I mean,
she's
she's
just in her element.
She's just taking candy from baby right now. She's waiting for these short balls. But the Pejic and Lopez are doing a phenomenal job defending against these very difficult screens. Zubori's really slowed down her overheads quite a bit.
It's amazing that they really can't do anything to hurt her.
Right. And again, just making high percentage choices based on her distance from the net. Very rarely will you see her make a decision error, especially with the overhead. Sometimes she forces the drive a little bit, but overheads, she is just so steady. She'll break you down.
Well, she knows because every ball's hers. Her mind's already on to the next shot. I'm going to do this next. I'm going to do this next. I'm going to create this.
Match point, Guy.
Number 2.
Yep.
That's a gutsy return.
Game of second chances right there.
Wow. Zubori was 4 boards over the center hash mark. They've got to keep the ball in the middle here. Wow.
Dude.
I like the move now.
I felt like that. The wind just pushed that. Look at the flag.
Yeah, look at the flags. I almost think the wind just shifted, actually. Do you see
Yeah,
the direction
no,
those flags?
I did.
They were west to east, the wind going, and then the last view they just showed, it was pointing towards us. That wind is definitely shifting.
I love the Hanisch idea, though. You're playing. You're not playing not to lose. You're playing to win there. That's so good.
Advantage, Lopez.
When you generate that much spin and that much paddle head speed, Guy, that's going to happen. But I actually like it. She's going after it. I'd rather see that than her slowing down through contact.
Yes. 2 targets at the net. You saw Zubori miss an overhead the previous point because she hasn't had to worry about someone standing near her in a while. That's a good look from Paige.
That's true. She's not wild and free.
Right. True.
She likes to just go. Smart pass on that. Oh, great return.
Advantage,
Great move by Lopez on her line.
Yes, Lopez following that up.
Making Zubori hit a great shot to get it by her. She was never going to jump on it anyways, but still the pressure was there.
It's a big ball. Again, stepped into it, add a little extra something.
I mean,
but it's really the depth of that roller because it's coming in hot and you don't have time to react. The deeper that ball lands.
The 2 times she's hit that today, perfect decisions.
We're at deuce again, Guy. Semifinals of the APTA National Championship. So exciting. The display of athleticism and talent, Guy, has been just a treat to watch and be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the, I mean, just.
Advantage, Lopez Page.
She got caught.
Yeah,
it was one of the first times she
lobs.
stood there and kind of just watched and assessed.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'll say it quickly, that it's just all the adjustments that we've seen the teams make has made it a pretty special match. I mean, the tactics are one thing, but the adjustments are another.
Zubori just hit that ball out.
Game Lopez, Page. Tied at 6 games in the third
Guy,
set.
as it should be.
As it should be, Denise.
Man, 6-all in the third set.
Wow.
I mean,
And I will say this, knowing both of these teams.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to have plenty of time, and we'll have the women's finals coming up later on this afternoon. Men's finals to follow this, but semifinals to follow this. But I think both these teams, this match, I mean, they're going to sit, rest a little bit. They'll both be ready to go, no matter who wins this match.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I think they'll be pumped up.
Totally.
All right, here we go.
Looks like Taya Page is taking out, starting the tiebreaker, serving 1 point from the ad side of the court. It's different than tennis. What an epic battle this has been, Guy.
Yeah, and I think this breaker comes down to shot making.
Yeah, they've both, to your point, have made so many different adjustments given what they're seeing from their opponents, but it's going to be the team that can execute the best.
And that's what I mean by shot making. You know, you've seen Hanisch going for the right ball, but couple errors, you know, the last couple games, but look, when it matters the most. I mean, she's still swinging, right?
Oh, yeah. And going, again, the target that seems to be working across the board is right at.
Yeah.
On a warmer day, very hard to control the big drive on your volley when you're at the net. All right, for Hanisch serving. B. Lopez returning.
I don't think we want to go medium pace at Zubori doing. Not when she's standing there.
Again, mixing up the spins.
Great move by
That's
Page.
a sick step up.
Nice. There we go. Wow. Wow.
1 all.
I mean,
I'm sure she
poking
remembered
the
what.
bear.
Yeah.
This is Zubori is not going to forget that one.
I mean,
that was a great shot. A great shot and fair. It was low.
I guess Paige did not forget the one that happened just a game ago.
I mean, so good.
You think another one's coming from Zubori?
I mean, do you think? At some point, she's going to have a little flashback and the message will be received. Again, I really like Paige stepping up, that aggressive positioning, looking for that offensive shots.
And you see them both very different, Denise, from what we saw in the middle of the set. Now,
yep.
They realize how important it is to be there. Yes, they were not doing that before.
No.
Another good adjustment.
Yes. Yeah, again, identifying what's hurting them, and that is the formation with Zubori at the net. So any opportunity, Lopez and Page are really looking to capitalize on
3-1, Lopez, Page.
Notice how much Lopez trusts her first volley, Denise. She just pushed that serve in, and sometimes that's a tough one, no pace, but.
I know, it's kind of interesting. She's gone to the serve.
Yeah, and then she hits it hard
She's
there.
Mixing that in. It's a great volley behind, getting right behind Zubori.
4-1, Lopez, Page.
Another shift, Guy. Feel the energy shift to Lopez and Page.
A lot of credit to them, Denise. I mean, dealing with what Zubori's done today.
Oh, yeah.
For them to hang in there, it's not that hard to think about just saying, hey, I mean, what else can we do?
Right.
But they just kept digging in, making adjustments, staying the course, not getting frustrated.
Yeah, and paying attention to what shots they're hitting and paying attention to the response that they're receiving and
Now,
just making brilliant adjustments.
Do you think Floor staying up is a result of that shift?
I think she's
back
yeah.
again, but still,
I think just to continue giving them different looks to make them not as comfortable.
4-2, Lopez Page.
Job making.
I mean, look at, again, she sets up just like she's hitting a regular overhead in the last minute, just cuts across and under the ball.
Yeah,
Hanisch.
after that last cutter, Hanisch is going straight
she's
to
like,
the baseline.
and I was kind of in your way, sorry.
Yeah.
Great spin. Again, the different spins that Zubori is putting on. I know.
I don't know.
That little,
There's the
positioning.
play. There's the lob.
5-2.
She's got
Lopez
Zubori
Page.
has to adjust her target on that. Paige is starting to read that all day.
Well, and
I
they're
think that's the
creating
third.
they're creating that pattern because you've seen Paige climbing up that side screen the last few
She's
points.
got to hit. I would hit the back screen and kick that ball back into her. Great move by Zubori. Great hands by Paige.
6-2, Lopez Page.
Wow, a lot of match points for Paige and Lopez. They are just have been rock solid. But I would never count out Hanisch Zubori guy.
Not at all, especially with the momentum shifts we've seen.
Oh my gosh. That ball almost went over, guy. Great hustle by Lopez.
6-3, Lopez
I mean,
Page.
that thought about it.
And again, Hanisch not going away, just picking her spots,
Yep.
hitting it, trusting it. Biggest point in the match.
One more point.
All right, another match point for Lopez and Paige. For Hanisch to serve.
For sure,
And
Hanisch
Lopez.
stays back here.
Yes.
You agree? Wow.
I mean,
That's a good spot right at her.
just
Wow.
soft
So,
hands.
I mean, how
To
good
be able
are
to
her-
absorb that drive.
At her
guy,
head. At her head.
And just absorb that pace and send that ball back.
I mean, and at the depth, right?
Yep. All right, another match point averted.
Does the pressure start to switch here now after losing 2 match points or no?
Oh boy, oh boy. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Wow.
Game, set, match, Lopez Page. 6-2.
Wow. That's all I can say.
I mean, double wow, guy.
7-6.
That
Wow.
was such an impressive match by all
Great match, ladies.
4 players. I mean, Paige and Lopez, they just made some incredible adjustments, and the execution was spot on. So kudos to them for, how they handled the pressure and the different formation that Zubori and Hanisch showed them. It took a minute to figure it out and understand what they needed to do to break that down, and they did it brilliantly. So they're moving on to the finals. Guy, what are your thoughts?
I'll tell you what, Denise, it's one of the most special matches I've watched. I can't really remember another one, and I agree with you. The adjustments and just the partnerships. I mean, you never see anyone hanging their head. They all hung in there. They all kept talking, and their adjustments were quick.
Yes.
They weren't after 3 or 4 games. There was never those. That's why the momentum shifts kept going back and forth because of
based on the adjustments.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, anyways, congrats to a great run for Hanisch and Zubori, and no matter what, I think they learned. I don't know if we've seen anything like that before for that sustained amount of time. So
just an incredible I mean, what a treat. So, Guy, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Denise.
It's been an amazing season calling with you, and I look forward to next season.
Absolutely. That's a wrap.
And to watch the finals.
Yes, we have the
later.
men's semis coming up next, everyone, and then the ladies' final to follow later on this afternoon after 2 p.m. Thank you.
A pleasure.
At Volley, we build tools to unlock your potential. The new Volley PTI feature breaks down your game like never before. Ever wondered, which partner has impacted my PTI the most? What's our win percentage as the favorite or underdog? Do I perform differently in 2 or 3 set matches? Now, it's all at your fingertips. The PTI tool is free to everyone. Download the Volley app today and level up your game. We'll see you on the court.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
You know you have an account with Philadelphia. A, they're covered properly. You know, the policy is second to none. And B, you're going to have no service issues, whether it's inspections, claims, billing, whatever the problem may be, they're on top of it.
I love working with Philadelphia insurance companies. It's easy doing business with them. They make us look good.
It's a cultural thing with Philadelphia. Everybody is there for you.
For all those making it big out there, shouldn't your mobile service be able to keep up with you? Get Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig at home and on the go. Introducing Power Boost, only from Xfinity Mobile. Now that's big. Xfinity Internet customers, cut your mobile bill in half versus T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T for your first year. Plus, ask how to get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus on us.
Total Platform Tennis, the country's leader in court construction and facilities design, is now offering modular warming huts. Here is a sample of what we can provide. For more options and to learn more about this exciting innovation, visit our website at totalplatformtennis.com.